Notre Dame will move to the sidelines, and shortly, very shortly, we should have both football teams on the field. I don't know about you, but across this land, wherever I have been and talked football with fans, they say when they hear our national anthem, it gives them goosebumps. It never fails to affect me that way. And here, as we wait for one of the great football games of the year to be played, again, I have that feeling. There's electricity in the air. And while it is an overcast day and the sun is not shining, believe me, there is tension here that you can feel. The atmosphere is beginning to sparkle just a wee bit, and it will be even more before the kickoff. The referee this afternoon is Jerry Markreef. The headlinesman is Dale Oram. The back judge is Bill Quindy. The umpire, Chadwick Reed. The field judge, Jim Shepard. And Jack Roberson with the line judge. And here comes Notre Dame. Waiting in the wings, Southern California, and here come the Trojans. Getting all set for the kickoff.
All the excitement of Notre Dame football brought to you by Barry Buick all season long. All the excitement of the brand new 74 Buick now on display at Barry Buick. Steve showing all the 74s. The new restyled Buick. They're all here. The totally new Riviera. The luxurious Electric. The practical LeSabre. Mid-size Regal. And Buick's new economy car, the Apollo. All new for 1974. And you know Barry Buick is the place to get the best of a Buick this fall. The best deal, right on the money. The best service from the most highly competent service team in the Midwest. Buick 74 and college football. Both exciting and both brought to you by Barry Buick. Don't miss your chance to get the best of a Buick this fall. Come on out today. See all the gorgeous 74 Buicks and find out how little it costs to actually own one at Barry Buick. Steve Barry Buick. He's at 16,000 Detroit Avenue in Lakewood.
Waiting for the captains now to make the appearance at midfield and for the flip of the coin. And this one will be underway. This is game number 45 in the series, and the Irish have won 25. They have lost 15. 4 of those ball games have been ties. 2 of those games in the last 6 years have been broadcasts that yours truly and our mutual crew has come up with. This is Al Wester, along with Van Patrick, Paul Pentecost, our entire mutual broadcast crew, as we bring you and set the scene for one of the great football games of the year. Across the way, Southern California, their gold trousers, their red helmets, their white jerseys with the red stripes. John McKay is bedecked in red trousers, red shirt. This ball game is being broadcast over some 400 stations in America and then shortwaved around the world. Rice will kick off for Southern California, and dropping back now for Notre Dame. Number 21 is Ron Goodman. Number 28 is Gary Diminick, going back in the deep spots now for the Fighting Irish. And as Al mentioned, you can feel the tremendous electricity in this ballpark today. A complete sellout. There's nobody outside. They're all inside, including the gentlemen who were parking the cars. They're in here now to watch this one. Waiting for the referee whistle, and here's the move. High end over end kick and coming down to Goodman at the 7-yard line. He's back to the 10. Goes to the 15 to the 20, 25, and brings it on up to about the 28-yard line, and he's knocked out of bounds by Danny Reese. It'll be first down and 10 to go now for Notre Dame, and they have the ball on their own 28-yard line. That's a return of 21 yards on the part of Ron Goodman. So Tommy Clements is the quarterback, 6-footer, 185-pound junior. We'll check that backfield. Diminick was slated to start in the backfield today, and he is in there in place of Art Best. Pinnock is in the slot on the right side, and the fullback is Bullock, and in motion goes Diminick, and here's the keeper Clements, brings it all the way up to the 33-yard line. He's brought down by Riley and Cobb, making the tackle there for Southern California. They marked that ball on the 33-yard line, a gain on the play of 5 yards, possibly 6, so make it second down and 4 to go. Van, they had said that Jim Sims might be injured, the defensive right end of Southern California. He's really a linebacker. He apparently is not starting. Ray Rodriguez is over there, and that play went with a block on Rodriguez.
Waiting for it now is Tommy Clements again. He gives to Bullock, and Bullock tries the middle, brings it to the 35-yard line, and is brought down there by Charlie Anthony, the left linebacker, along with Wood, the linebacker on the right side for Southern California. Wood, number 83, is from Elizabeth, New Jersey, and they hear these games on WMCA in New York. The ball on the 35-yard line. The series originated on the 28. It's third down and just about a yard to go. Reneman is the center. DiNardo and Palmerico the guard. Neese and Sylvester are the tackles. Out of it they come in a power I formation with both ends in tight. Waiting for it now is Clements, and Clements gives it to Diminick, and Diminick's got a first down. He carries to the 39, and Wood and Riley in there to make the stop for Southern California. And it's first and 10 to go now for Notre Dame. And this tremendous crowd now joining in the excitement.
Notre Dame likes ball control. We've just got a taste of it right there as the Irish use 3 running downs. They hold the football. They go for the first down. This is the sort of thing, of course, that any football team wants to establish very quickly. The running game, the Irish have started off exactly as you would expect them to.
In a pro set with Pinnock on the slot on the right side. Diminick and Bullock, the running backs, and it's given to Pinnock. And Pinnock on the sweep brings it to the 43-yard line. And Riley and Wood make the tackle there for Southern California as he brought it to the 43-yard line. We're in the first quarter, 13 minutes and 15 seconds of playing time remaining, and no score. And the ball's resting on the 42, and that will be a gain of 3 yards on the sweep by Eric Pinnock. Make it second down and 7 yards to go. Out of the huddle now, Notre Dame. Using that 3-man front line, the linebackers moving in now to make it almost a 6-man defensive line for Southern California. Pinnock in the slot. In motion goes Diminick. And here's Clements going back to throw, rolling to the right. He's going to run with the football. Now he throws, and it's completed to catch at the 50. He's at the 45. Catches at the 44-yard line. He's brought down by Charlie Phillips. As he reached the 44-yard line in Southern California territory, it's a first down for Notre Dame.
And he threw on the linebackers. Now, Dan, I'm going to say this right now. I expect Notre Dame, I believe the Irish, from all reports, can throw on the linebackers. They're going to throw against them. He threw with Richard Wood and Charlie Anthony right there in the zone area, and he completed it.
First and 10, 15 yards gained on the play. Clements on the call again, and he gives it off to Bullock, and Bullock is hit right at the line of scrimmage on the 44-yard line, and no place for him to go. He's brought down by Gary Jeter, the big left tackle there of Southern California. No gain on the play, so make it second down and 10 to go for Notre Dame from the 44-yard line of Southern California. No score in this ball game in the first quarter, and it's nice to have you with us wherever you are today across America or around the world. It's Notre Dame football from South Bend. Eric Pinnock in the slot on the right side. Demerly is flanked out. It's a double wing formation. In the slot is Diminick. In motion is the halfback Pinnock, and the give is to Bullock, and Bullock is to the 41-yard line, and Charlie Anthony, the linebacker, brings him down on the 41. A gain on the play of 3 yards, so it'll be second down and 7 yards to go now. Third down, rather, for Notre Dame, and 7 yards to go. And now checking in for Southern California is Ted Roberson, a defensive back. He's coming in. Let's see who's going out of there. Number 47. Message in, went right back out. We saw that in the Rice game. He didn't stay in. Demerly's flanked to the right. Pinnock in the slot. Double wing. In motion. Diminick. And the give is to Bullock. And Bullock plows down to the 36-yard line with that ball before Wood and Doris and Anthony all make the stop. He got it down to the 35-yard line. And look at this. They've got fourth down and just about, it looks like it's shorter than a yard to go, Al.
Well, the Irish use something a little different there. I haven't seen it used this year, Van. They give you a lot of motion from the side. They send one of the backs into the line, and then comes the fullback plowing in behind him. But he went right straight up the middle. He gets some running room. Here's a big fourth down play. Notre Dame early in this drive now, just about a yard shy of the first down. Big play, Van.
Well, he's going to take the big gamble early in this ball game with an I formation, a power I. Notre Dame might have taken too much time to get the play underway, and that will make a difference. A delay of game. It'll be a 5-yard penalty against Notre Dame. He just waited a little bit too long to get it underway.
He waited a little bit too long back there in the backfield, and here comes the kicking team into the ball game, Van. It's going to be a switch around now. You've got a whole change in strategy. The man who comes in is Brian Doherty. He's averaged 44.7 yards a kick. His longest has been 66 yards. The senior from Portland, Oregon, will put the ball in the air. With the Irish on the 40-yard line of Southern California, they punt.
Davis and Swan are deep, and here's the snap to Doherty, and he puts the foot into it, angling for the sideline, and he gets it out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. I'll have to wait for them to mark it. It'll be about on the 8-yard line. A good kick by Doherty of 32 yards. He did exactly what he wanted to do, and that was get that ball out of bounds. And he
got it out of bounds just over the 8. We'll call it the 8-yard line. Make it first down and 10 to go for Southern California. We have 10 minutes and 15 seconds of playing time remaining in the first quarter. No score. McCaffrey, Cordell, and Bain, Riley and Brown, McKay and Obradovich up front. And with the score, Notre Dame nothing, Southern California nothing. There's a timeout on the field. Now this for Royal Globe Insurance. We always have excitement in the Notre Dame Southern California series. Performance is what counts on the football field. And in insurance, it's what makes Royal Globe a special kind of insurance company. Performance when it counts. Take Indiana. Right here, we have nearly 150 insurance pros working for you. These company and agency representatives are ready to step in and help when the unexpected happens, day or night. Ready to get you back on your feet in a hurry, without a lot of hassle. We know what it's like when a disaster shuts down your business or locks you out of your home. It's during these hours and days you discover how good your insurance company is. At Royal Globe, we believe that the premiums you pay include service as well as coverage. For performance when it counts, see a Royal Globe agent near you. You'll find him listed under Royal Globe in the yellow pages. Royal Globe, worldwide shield against the unexpected. On the first play from scrimmage, Hayden backs up and fires a pass out on the right flat, intended for Swan. It's incomplete. It'll be brought back to the 8-yard line. And second down and 10 to go now for Southern California. Moore's in that backfield with Davis and Swan, and Pat Hayden, called by his coach John McKay as the finest passer he has ever coached, is the quarterback, and Diggs is in there in place of Swan, the flanker back. And now they split wide to the right side. McKay, I formation employed by Southern California. Anthony Davis, the top of that I, in motion now goes the running back, Diggs. And right straight up the middle goes Anthony Davis, and he gets to about the 12-yard line, and Greg Collins brings him down right there for Notre Dame. We have 10 minutes of playing time remaining in the first quarter. They're going to mark the ball on the 13-yard line. Swan is back in, and Diggs is out. That's a change at flanker now for Southern California. So mark the ball on the 13-yard line and make it third down and about 6 yards to go for Southern California. Anthony Davis on the blast right up the middle. 5'9", 190-pound junior. Scored 6 touchdowns against Notre Dame last year. Swan and McKay are both flanked out on the right side in the I formation. Waiting for it now is Hayden, the quarterback, and he's going back to throw. He sets up. He's in trouble. He's being chased. He's throwing. And they almost had him down in the end zone. Ross Crowder went down in there for Notre Dame. And he just got rid of that football. Looked like he might be intentionally grounding the ball, but they whistled it back to the 13-yard line.
What a great play by Ross Crowder. Crowder went across, and he really put the pressure on Hayden, ran him into the end zone. Hayden was 3 yards deep, and down on the sidelines there, Parsegan is talking to one of the officials. Why, he says, didn't you call it for intentionally grounding the football? All right, Southern California, with the ball out at their 13-yard line, will punt.
Lucas will do the kicking. Zanat goes back now about the 48-yard line. He's kicking to the end zone. He gets it away. And it's a short kick that's going out of bounds around the 32-yard line. He got a little piece of that ball. Rudnick as he went in there.
Tim Rudnick, as you said, Van, Tim Rudnick got a piece of that football. Oh, was he a happy young man as he spun into the end zone there after blocking. Partially blocking the football. It goes out of bounds. It's brought in at the Southern California 28-yard line, and the Irish have the first big break to the football game. Notre Dame, their second offensive cross, they start at the Southern Cal 28.
First down and 10 to go. Deminick in the slot on the left side. He's in motion to the right. And here's the give on the counter to Pinnock, and Pinnock gets about a yard. That's it. He's brought down by Anthony and Doris. They brought him down on about the 27-yard line. Let's see where they mark it. It's going to call it the 28, so there'll be no gain on the play, on the counter play. He was stopped right there by the two linebackers. We have 9 minutes of playing time remaining in the first quarter. No score. Notre Dame and Southern California. The Irish out of the huddle. Casper on the left side. Demerly on the right side. Pinnock in the slot. Bullock and Deminick are the running backs, and Clements, the quarterback, sends Pinnock in motion, and he goes back to pass. He looks, throws, and it is caught by Demerly down on the 12-yard line, and he's brought down right on the 12-yard line. Phillips and Parker made the tackle. First down for Notre Dame on the 12-yard line, and that's their third first down, and the Irish are on the move.
The Irish flooded the zone to the left. They had Pete Demerly over there. They had Dave Casper. They had Wayne Bullock rolling out of the backfield. They had flooded the left zone. It's good for 16 yards to Notre Dame with a first down at the 12-yard line of Southern California.
Demerly is flanked out wide to the right side. The ball on the 12. In motion is Deminick. And here is Clements on the keeper. He's down to the 9-yard line. Running off right tackle, and he's stopped by Rodriguez. the linebacker on the right side, along with Phillips. And so mark that ball just over the 10-yard line. Give him a gain on the play of about 3. Make it 2nd down and 7. No score. 8 minutes, 11 seconds to go in the first quarter. Van Patrick, along with Al Wester and our Mutual Sports crew at South Bend, Indiana. An overcast day. It's about 52 degrees. 85, Demerly's on the left side. 86, Casper on the right side. Now Demerly goes out wide to the left. Waiting for it is Clements. And Clements now on to give to Pinnock on the sweep. Pinnock's in trouble. Cuts in, brought down on the 14-yard line. Rodriguez is the man who was not fooled and brought him down in a fine defensive play by Rodriguez.
The senior was standing right in the gap. I think he read the play beautifully. He did a nice job on it. Now remember, these two ends, there's 3 up men in the defensive front line of Southern California. They send Riley, Doris, and Jeter in that front line to charge or to contain the run. They keep Mitchell and Sims, who would ordinarily be defensive ends, almost as linebackers.
1 out of 2 on 3rd down situations. Here's Clements rolling out to the right. He's looking for a receiver. He throws, and it is incomplete. And there was a great defensive play intended for Demerly, and making the play there was Anthony and Doris and Parker. Parker's the man who knocked the ball right out of his hands, so that means that Bob Thomas now will come in and try to put Notre Dame on the board with 3. Great defensive coverage. They had 3 men on Demerly, Al, and he still almost made the catch.
Well, the Irish were able to move the ball offensively this series 13 yards. They moved it from the 28 down to the 15-yard line. Now with a 4th down, they've got the man in there to try the field goal. He is 2 out of 10, Van. He is kicking from the hash marks at an angle. The ball will be kicked from the 22-yard line, a 32-yard attempt.
Ball is spotted on the 32. The kick is in the air, and it is good. And there's a timeout with the score. Notre Dame 3, Southern California nothing.
The best of the Buick for 74. That's what we're promising you from Steve Barry Buick. And we're bringing you all the excitement of Notre Dame football 74 to let you know we mean business this fall. We mean to offer you the best price on any one of the beautiful new 74 Buicks. We mean to back it with service you can count on. We think Buick represents the best combination of prestige, value, and economy. And we mean it when we say you'll get the best of a Buick this fall from Barry Buick. Barry Buick, 16,000 Detroit Avenue in Lakewood.
All right, Van, Thomas is going to kick off now, and I've got to venture a guess for you. Watch the squib kick. I would say Mr. Thomas is going to tee that football up. I don't think it'll go long. He will go for the squib kick, the unexpected, and a recovery. The Irish would like to have possession. They'd like to have it as quickly as they can get it. They lead Southern California 3-0. There's half of the first quarter already ticked away on the clock here at Notre Dame Stadium. Notre Dame 3, Southern Cal nothing. 7:08 remaining in the first period. Thomas has come to the sidelines. He's putting his tee down at the hash mark. He'll place the ball down there, and I suppose Southern California, as they spread for the kickoff, will be doubly alert. But I've got to believe this will be the short one to try and gamble and get the ball again.
Anthony Davis is the deep man. He's back in the end zone, and Thomas, as Al mentioned, will probably squib kick that ball. We'll see what happens. Nope, he's going to kick. Yeah, he does. And it's picked up on the 25 and fumbled, but picked up by Moore, and he brings it back to the 35-yard line. And the tackle is made there by Sherman Smith. And marked the ball on the 35-yard line. Anthony Davis ran for 6 touchdowns against Notre Dame last year. Southern California unbeaten in 23 consecutive ball games. They started that streak 2 years ago right here in South Bend, Indiana. Moore is in there with Davis and Swan in the backfield. Pat Hayden is the quarterback. First down on the 35-yard line of Southern California. Notre Dame leading 3-0. The give now is to Davis. Davis brings it for 3 yards. Moves the ball to the 38-yard line and brought down on the 38-yard line. And making the tackle was Ross Browner along with Haydock. So mark the ball on the 38-yard line. A gain of 3 yards by Anthony Davis. And now Ken Gray is coming in at fullback and going out as Moore. And that's a change in the backfield for Southern California. 6 minutes and 40 seconds of playing time remaining in the first quarter. It's 3-0 in favor of Notre Dame. A 32-yard field goal by Thomas. They flood the zone to the right side in the I formation, and Hayden on a pitch back now to Davis. Davis gets him to clear at the 40. He's caught from behind at the 43-yard line by Potemka and Rudnick, and a flag is down, Al, on that play.
I believe it's going to be against the Irish. Fine blocking there by Steve Riley on the left side and by Mike Cardell. For Southern California, they're going to step off yardage against Notre Dame, and it's going to be costly yardage, too. That moves it over the midfield stripe and places it on the Notre Dame 42-yard line.
Personal foul, right. Second penalty, 20 yards, and that's a personal foul against Notre Dame. Coming back in now is Moore at fullback. Going out of there is Gray. So put the ball on the 42-yard line of Notre Dame. Make it first down and 10 to go now for Southern California. Browner, Nosbush, Fanning, and Stock up front. Collins, Potenka, Smith, and Mahalik backing up that line. McKay's flanked to the left side. Waiting for it now is Hayden in this I formation, and Hayden on to give to Davis, and Davis at the 42 and brought down now as he reaches the 38-yard line by Jim Stock on the 38-yard line. A gain of 4 yards on the play. It'll be second down and 6 yards to go now for the Trojans. We've got 5 minutes and 45 seconds to play in the first quarter. And the score is Notre Dame 3, Southern California nothing. Moore and Gray keep changing at the fullback spot and probably bringing in signals from John McKay. McKay is flanked out to the right side. In the slot is Lynn Swan in an I formation. Waiting for it, Hayden, and Hayden now is going back to throw. He sets up and looks and throws, and it's caught at the 20-yard line by Swan, and Swan is down to the 12-yard line before he's brought down by Collins and Rudnick, and he was wide open. They let him loose in there.
That's right. He broke right into the middle there, and as he cut in, he made the grab, came down. Sherman Smith threw a tackle at him. Swan went high in the air, man, hurdled this man to get away for an additional 5 yards. Southern California now knocking on the door at the 12-yard line. Give them 26 yards on that pass play.
First down and 10 to go for Southern California from the 12-yard line. McKay is out wide to the right. Swan's in the slot on the right side. In the I formation, and the crowd is just a little bit too loud. And asking for time now is the quarterback, Pat Hayden, because they could not hear the signals. We have exactly 5 minutes, 1 second of playing time remaining in the first quarter. It was an official's timeout, not an official timeout. Wide to the right side goes McKay. In the I formation, Anthony Davis. Right in front of him is Moore. And again, they can't hear the signals. And they go back. And the crowd really starts to boo now. Of course, in this stadium, with almost 60,000 jam-packed in here, and the stadium is down in the ground, and that sound really carries. Not like that spacious Coliseum they play in Los Angeles. Wide to the right side is McKay. Waiting for it, Hayden with an I formation. Hayden on a pitch to Davis. Davis and over left tackle. He's down to the 5, and he's out of bounds on about the 1-yard line and brought down by Rudnick. And there's no question about it, Al. He's a great running back.
Oh, he's a great one. Vandeweghe picks up that leg, that tremendous burst of speed that skyrockets him off there. He had 6 touchdowns against Notre Dame in 1972, and he is very definitely a Heisman Trophy candidate. In 5 carries, Davis has picked up 27 yards today. I might add that he's averaged 86 yards a game this year so far, although he had an injured ankle. All right, they've been checking. They brought the sticks out to measure and to see whether there was a first down for Southern California inside of the 5-yard line, but it's about a yard to go. It's about a yard shy, not quite a yard. So they bring the ball back out, and here comes the switch of fullbacks. Gray coming in, and Manford Moore going out. And, of course, John McKay is working his signals from the sidelines that way. The ball is on the 2-yard line, man. Southern California is 2 yards away from taking the lead in this game. With 4:29 left in the first quarter, Notre Dame leads 3-0.
Out of the huddle now, Southern California. Mahalik is in there. And Nosbush is in there. They're getting some defensive strength in that front wall now for Notre Dame. I formation, the power I. Hayden on the sneak is stopped at the 2. And Greg Collins, number 50, the linebacker from Troy, Michigan, is the man who made the tackle. And up on the top side there for Notre Dame, number 88 is Mike Fanning to make the tackle on Hayden, who tried the quarterback sneak. On that right guard over there, Cordell. Mike Cordell of Long Beach, California, tried to wedge him over. And it just didn't happen, as Fanning was right there along with the linebacker. And they're going to bring the chain in again, see if they picked up enough for the first down. We have 4:11 to go in the first quarter. Notre Dame leading 3-0. And they place the chain down. And this time he might have enough for that first down. He does. First down and goal to go from the 2, and that's the 3rd first down picked up by Southern California. In comes Moore now with the play for the Trojans. So mark it on the 2-yard line and make it first down and goal to go as Ken Gray goes out. So the Trojans back in the huddle. Pat Hayden, who's 5'11", 171-pound junior from West Covina, California, calling the signals. He sends McKay out wide to the right. He's being covered over there by Barnett, one-on-one, and to give to Davis. Davis hurdles over the middle. He got to the goal line, but I don't believe he got over. And in there was Potenka to make the tackle along with Luther Bradley, and they shove him back. So it's going to be allowed down to about the 1-foot line, and that's it. They stopped him. Fanning again in on the tackle, but it'll be second down and goal to go. And it seems almost unbelievable to believe that they could stop him from going in there with a ball on about the 1-foot line. The great running backs Southern California can boast of. McKay goes out wide to the right. Swan is in on the slot on the right side. Hayden looking over that defense. And Hayden fumbles the ball, and there's a mad scramble for the football. I believe he recovered the ball on the 1-yard line. Hayden fumbled, and I believe he recovered his own fumble. He just started to take the steps back too quickly, and getting the exchange from McCaffrey. He didn't quite get possession of the ball, but Hayden did recover the ball.
Southern California band has fumbled only 8 times this year, and they have lost only 3 interceptions. Notre Dame on the other side of the ledger has lost 11 of 16 fumbles this year. Tommy Clements has thrown 5 interceptions. I just thought I'd grab this opportunity to compare the fumbleitis proposition. Southern Cal doesn't lose the ball very much by losing the handle.
3rd and 1 to go now. And now Hayden again says he cannot hear the signal. The clock shows 2 minutes and 39 seconds of playing time remaining here in the first quarter of the ball game, with Notre Dame leading on a 32-yard field goal by Bob Thomas. But they're threatening now with the ball on the 1-yard line, and it's 3rd down and goal to go. High formation, 1 flanker, McKay out wide to the right. Hayden on a pitch back to Davis on the sweep, and Davis goes in the end zone for a touchdown. It's all the right way. They moved 65 yards in that drive. That's a swift kick, and it took them 9 plays to do it, and the Trojans of Southern California are on the scoreboard and leading by a score of 6-3. Now we'll have to try for point, and Brad Rice is the kicker. So we're waiting for him to get in here. Well, let's check that. Looks like we got a new kicker here, Al, coming in now for the Southern California Trojans. Lamahulu is the kicker, and he gets it in the air, and it's good. So with the score now, the Southern California Trojans 7, Notre Dame 3. There's a timeout on the field now. This for Delco.
One of the best ways to find out right now if your car will start this winter is to pay attention to how it's starting now. Does it seem a little slow sometimes? Better have it checked. Stop at a Delco dealer. If you need a new battery, have him install a new Delco battery that has been designed to give you an instantaneous burst of starting power, start after start. There's some cold days coming when you'll be glad he did.
Well, the more you know, the more you want Delco. The more you know, the more you want Delco.
You know, Van, before game time and talking to Arrow Persigan, he said if this is a defensive battle, and I hope it will not be an offensive battle, he said, I think we have an excellent chance to win this ball game. And most of all, we have got to be careful. We cannot give Southern California the big play. Well, looking at this Southern Cal offense operate in their second attempt to score, and they did score to take a 7-3 lead. I've got to say, they've got the man to create the big play, and that's Anthony Davis. He is the man that Notre Dame's defense is going to have to concentrate on. Southern California will kick off. The Irish receive. They trail 7-3. The Trojans are in front now. We've got 2:22 remaining in the first quarter. Van, all set to go, and here's the whistle to send the action back on the gridiron.
Hunter is deep along with Deminick, and here is the kick now, and it is a left-footed kick down to Deminick at the 9, and he brings it back to the 15-yard line, gets a block, cuts in at the 20, brings it on to the 23, and is hauled down on the 23-yard line, and the tackle was made by Kevin Bruce, number 50 of Southern California, on the 23-yard line. It'll be first down and 10 to go now for Notre Dame, running from their own 23-yard line, and that was a 14-yard return by Gary Deminick. Deminick stays in the lineup in the backfield, which will mean Clements, Pennick, and Bullock, and Deminick in the backfield. Pennick's in the slot on the right side. Demerly and Casper the ends. The center is Brenneman. Pennick in motion now goes Deminick, and to give it to Bullock, and Bullock gets to the 25-yard line, and he is gang tackled right there. Anthony and Doris, the 2 linebackers, make the stop. Let's see where they're going to mark the ball. They're going to put it on the 25, a gain of 2 yards on the play, so make it second down and 8 to go now for Notre Dame. The Irish trail by a score of 7-3. We've got 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Back in the huddle now, Notre Dame. Out of it they come. They send Demerly out wide to the right side. Could be. Clements is going to put it in the air here. Now he brings them into a pro set. Pennick's in the slot on the right side. Waiting for it, Clements. And Clements now giving it off to Deminick. Deminick gets a block. He's to the 31-yard line and brought down on the 31-yard line by Richard Wood, the right linebacker. A good gain on the play, but up comes that 3rd down again with a minute and a half to go. Ball on the 31-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 2 yards to go now for Notre Dame. The Irish back in the huddle. Mitchell, Jeter, Riley, Rodriguez up there up front. 1 out of 3 on third down situations for Notre Dame in the ball game. In the slot on the left side is Diminick. Waiting for it is Clements. He's got 3rd and 2, and he gives it to Pinnock. Pinnock has got the first down. He's at the 40 and brings it on up to the 43-yard line. And it's finally brought down by Parker and Cobb. It's the first down for Notre Dame, and that's number 4.
Oh, he had some great blocking there. Both guards pulled. DiNardo, Pomerico. That Pomerico's got good speed for a big man, 250 pounds. No wonder he's an All-American candidate. He got out there in front. Pinnock got it into high gear. Those knees were really churning there. He turned the corner with plenty of room, and he had the men in front of him to block for him, Van.
2 ends in tight. And Pinnock in motion out wide to the right side now. And Clements is back to throw. He sets up. He looks. He throws a bomb to Diminick. And it is incomplete on the 25-yard line. He was covered by Parker. Parker knocked that ball away. And Clements had good protection. He had time to throw, but double coverage on the intended receiver, Diminick.
You had the down lineman trying to put the pressure on. Riley, Doris, and Jeter were putting the pressure on. Parker and Cobb made the double team on that deep man. They saw that the zone was not going to be flooded. It was one man to cover there, and they really put it on him. They had a squeeze play on him over there with Parker, of course, hitting the football and knocking it away.
Ron Goodman is in the backfield. He goes in motion wide to the right. Diminick is on the left side. Back goes Clements. He throws. Caspers the 50. He's down to the 45. He's down to the 44. First down, Notre Dame. Danny Reese made the tackle. And Clements hit him beautifully on the 44-yard line. It's another first down for the Fighting Irish. And that's 5. And let's take 10 seconds for station identification. This is Mutual, your news and sports radio network. Notre Dame out of the huddle. In motion goes Goodman. Here's Clements on the counter to Diminick, and he's going to be dropped on the 46-yard line, losing 2 yards on the play. And Rodriguez is the man who diagnosed it along with Charlie Anthony. And the tackle is made on the 46. Checking in now for Southern California's Roberson. He's probably bringing a play in defensively. And that could be the end of the first quarter. So with the end of the first quarter, the score is Southern California 7 and Notre Dame 3. Now this for sign-off and Lazy Boy chairs.
Sinus flares up. Sometimes your whole face aches. When you need occasional help, get Sign-Off tablets, the sinus medicine. Sign-Off works with a full dose of pure aspirin for sinus headache, plus a sinus drainer for congestion. That's how Sign-Off helps sinus pain while you drain. Remember, for best relief and safety, take Sign-Off only as directed. SINEOFS. The sinus medicine in the bright red box.
Fans, do you want to enjoy all the games this season? Get yourself a genuine Lazy Boy reclining chair, and you'll be the most comfortable fan in your neighborhood. Yes, Lazy Boy is the best seat anywhere for all your favorite sports programs. Lazy Boy, the chair that gives you selective leg rest, stretch-out comfort. It's a wife pleaser, too. There's a wide selection of Lazy Boy styles and fabrics for her to choose from. So be a winner. Ask your Lazy Boy dealer to show you a Lazy Boy, the sports fan's favorite recliner.
Well, just a reminder, the most valuable player in this ball game, a Lazy Boy chair, will be awarded in his name to the athletic department of the school. And our experts today are Bud Perillo of the Los Angeles Herald-Examiner, Cooper Rollo, the sports editor of the Chicago Tribune, Wayne Fuson of the Indianapolis News. That's our board of experts for the ball game today. Nice to have you with us wherever you are today. We've got a lot of excitement here at Notre Dame. It's 7-3 with Southern California leading. But Notre Dame has the football on the 46-yard line now of Southern California, and they have it second down and about 11 yards to go. Out of the huddle they come. 2 running backs, Bullock, and here's Diminick out wide to the left side, and back goes Clements. The flag is down. He throws. It's completed to Diminick. He caught the ball on the 32-yard line, but a flag went down, and Cobb was the man covering defensively over there. But Diminick caught the ball right along the sideline, and I believe the penalty will be against, check it, it's going to be against Notre Dame. And they've whistled it back, and that's a tough break for the Irish. Caught in a penalty after they had picked up good yardage, and that will be the 3rd penalty coming up, and a total of 25 yards against Notre Dame.
Well, penalties can break your back. Now, remember, it was a 15-yard step-off against the Irish that helped Southern California in their drive for their touchdown in the first quarter and gave them the lead that they hold at the moment, 7-3. 5 yards stepped off against the Irish. It moves it back to the 49-yard line of Notre Dame. I might point out, Van, that in the first quarter just over, Notre Dame played their kind of football, and that's ball control. They had 22 offensive plays. Southern California had only 12.
From the 49-yard line, it'll be second down and 16 yards to go. Diminick in motion to the left. Clements is going back to throw. The rush is on. He's in trouble. He runs away from him. He's at the 40. He throws it incomplete. Intended for Casper and Diminick. He had two of them down there, and Mitchell was putting the pressure on him, along with Gary Jeter, and how he eluded him. He looked like Mandrake the magician as he got away from the two pursuing linemen of Southern California.
Would you call him the little Will-o'-the-Wisp from McKees Rock, Pennsylvania? You like those words?
I'd be afraid I'd get twisted up with all those. Ball on the 49-yard line. It will be third down and 16 yards to go now for Notre Dame. So it figures Clements will probably put it in the air again. He's got Goodman, the slot on the right side. Dimmerly's flanked out wide to the left in a double wing formation. Goodman's in motion, and he gives instead to Bullock, and Bullock is going to be stopped at the 48-yard line. He had long yardage to go, and now he'll have to get the punting team in here. Doherty is coming in. So mark it on the 48-yard line. It'll be fourth down and 14 yards to go. A little surprising on that call that time by Clements.
Indeed it was. You and I and just about everybody, I guess, including Southern California, expected the pass. They've been throwing under, as I predicted before we started the ball game. The Irish would throw against the linebackers, and they've had success there.
Davis and Swan are deep, and here's the kick by Doherty, and look at this. He really got a foot into that one. Kicked it right into the end zone. 48 yards on the kick. So they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. It'll be first down and 10 to go now for the Southern California Trojans, and they'll be running from their own 20-yard line. Notre Dame, the defensive unit, back in there now. Notre Dame had a drive going, and once more that penalty slows them down. We're just getting underway now in the second quarter with 14 minutes and 6 seconds to go. McKay is flanked on the right side as the only flanker. Swan's in the slot in the I formation. Had Hayden the quarterback, and Hayden on to give to Anthony Davis, and Davis is hauled down on the 21-yard line, and making the tackle was Drew Mahalik, number 45 from Birmingham, Michigan. And Davis got exactly 1 yard on that play, and it'll be second down and 9 to go now for Southern California. Browner, Manning, Stock, Collins, Potemkin, Smith, Mahalik, Barnett, Bradley, all in there defensively for Notre Dame. A ball on the 21-yard line. It belongs to Southern California. Out of the huddle they come. Obradovich is the tight end on the right side. McKay is flanked out to the left side. I formation. The pitch back to Anthony Davis. Davis, flag is down. He's brought down on the 25. I believe that one of the Southern California Trojan linemen moved on that play.
Might have moved, Van, and it is illegal procedure. The indication from the official. It's going to be stepped off against Southern California for 5 yards. Van, I think right now this offensive thrust by Southern California may be one of the most important points in the football game. Now, the Trojans lead 7-3. They have the ball for the third offensive time. The first time didn't count. They had to put it in the air with the punt. They had their backs against the wall at their own 9-yard line. Now, here they are after scoring a touchdown in their second series and moving 65 yards to do it. Here they have the football with a second down coming up, second and just about 14 yards, a little better than 14 yards. So Southern California with the ball at their 15-yard line has to generate a thrust here, or the Irish might be able to take the momentum away the next time they gather the football in.
McKay one-on-one with Barnett. High formation, Hayden back to throw. He looks, throws, and it is caught at the 20-yard line by Moore. Moore is to the 22-yard line, and Mahalik makes the tackle on the 22. If you're driving somewhere, drive carefully, because we've got a lot of excitement here. Diggs is in, Swan is out. McKay wide to the right. Barnett drops off to cover him, and back goes Hayden to throw. He throws a little short pass out there. It's completed to Moore, and Moore comes up to the 27-yard line with it. He did not make a first down.
Drew Mahalik with another terrific tackle. Mahalik has thrown now 4 tackles, man, against Southern California in this football game, and all of them have been key tackles. I got to tip my hat to the young man from Birmingham, Michigan, the young junior, playing a great defensive game out there.
Bob Zanat drops back. Jimmy Lucas is the kicker. He's from Arcadia, California, 188-pound sophomore. Zanat is back on the 35-yard line. Here's the kick, and he gets it away. Fair catch is called for on the 41-yard line by Bob Zanat. And so it'll be first down and 10 to go now for Notre Dame. They'll run the ball from good field position from the 41-yard line, a 33-yard kick, and there's a timeout on the field with a score. Southern California 7, Notre Dame 3.
In football, college or pro, or any level, it takes teamwork to get the job done, to establish a winning tradition. The same thing is true of selling new cars, and no one knows it better than Steve Barry. At Barry Buick, you see teamwork, sales and service people working closely together to make absolutely sure you're a satisfied customer. That's what makes the winning tradition at Barry Buick. And now the 74s are here. All the gorgeous new 74 Buicks on display at Barry Buick. Now is the time to find out how to get the best of a Buick this fall. Best deal? We're dealing hard right from the start. Best service? We really believe we've got the best service team in the Midwest. The best of a Buick. Isn't that what you wanted all along? Come on out to Barry Buick today. See all the beautiful 74 Buicks and find out how little it costs to get the best of a Buick from Barry Buick. 16,000 Detroit Avenue in Lakewood. That's right, get the best of a Buick from Steve Barry Buick, 16,000 Detroit Avenue in Lakewood.
All right, Ben, here we go. The Irish coming up to the line at their 41.
Southern California, Notre Dame, with the ball on the 41-yard line of their own. Here's Clements going back to throw. Rolling to the right. He looks. He throws, and it is in. He catch it. Knocked out of bounds is Zimmerly, but he did not hold on to it. Charlie Anthony hit him about the same time Clements did, but Clements, Al, is getting time to throw that ball. That offensive line is doing a good job. He just can't get those receivers open now.
Well, the thing that we'd said before and the thing they've done so well is throwing under, Van, instead of going deep. Instead of throwing the 15-yard pattern, which Southern California is famous for, and they like to go down, turn in at 15 yards, throwing onto the linebackers, Notre Dame has been more successful than long.
Bradley is in there in place of Jeter, left tackle for Southern California. In motion is Pinnock. He's got blocking. He's at the 44-yard line and brought down there, running off left tackle. Stewart and Cobb made the stop there for Southern California. The Fighting Irish are ranked in total offense fourth in the nation. They've been averaging 456.4 yards a game, and a total of 323.6 of that has been on the ground, placing the Irish eighth in rushing offense. They're number one in the nation on defense. The ball is marked on the 43.5-yard line. Pinnock goes in motion out wide to the right. Clements is going back to throw on third down. He pumps, looks, hits Emily at the 50. He's down to the 42-yard line. He was tackled by Dale Mitchell and brought down on the 42. It's a first down for Notre Dame on the 42-yard line of Southern California. Score is 7-3. The Trojans are leading. Good pattern run by Demily.
And again, they're throwing under the linebackers. This was important. He got the ball to Demily on a slant in there, throwing under the linebackers and right between them. 14 yards, Van.
Pinnock in the slot on the right side. First down on the 42. Diminick's in motion. Here's Clements on the keeper, pitching it back to Diminick. Diminick trying to turn the corners, brought down on the 42-yard line by Dale Mitchell and Danny Reese. And here's Art Best going into the backfield now for Notre Dame. Well, there was some talk on the part of Art Best, Al, that he did not start the ball game today because of a little disciplinary action, although Parcia will not reveal what it was all about, but he's in there now.
Well, I'll tell you something. That might just hypo this young man. That just might make him want to break one like he did before. First time he ever carried the ball for Notre Dame, he ran 56 yards for a touchdown.
Second down and 9 yards to go from the 41-yard line. And here's the give to Best, and Best off right tackle. And he dives down to the 37-yard line with the ball, and the tackle is made on the 37. So Charlie Anthony, who's playing a very fine defensive ball game, a 6', 245 senior from Fresno, making the tackle on the 37-yard line. And that will mean third down and 5 yards to go now for Notre Dame, and the Irish out of the huddle. And they have 3 out of 6 on third down situations. They have a tight formation now. And here's the pitch back to Pinnock. Pinnock is going in over left tackle, and he's on down to the 32-yard line. And he might have enough. 9 minutes, 15 seconds of playing time remaining. He got very close. He got to the 32. They might bring the chain out for a measurement. And Charlie Phillips is the man who tripped him up on the 32.
Man, I don't believe he's got it. I'm going to wait and see now. They are bringing the chains out, but I don't believe he's got quite enough to make the first down. Standing there waiting to inspect his quarterback, Tommy Clements, as the yardsticks are brought all the way across the field. They'll lay it down and measure and hold your breath down. Let's see. You'll know in a moment. Well, they pick the football up. That indicates as they move it to the hash mark that this football does not touch the yardstick. It's about, I would say, no more. The official holds up his hand to indicate just about 3 inches for a first down.
Well, there's no question what they're going to try to do here. They're going to go for that. 9 minutes, 19 seconds to go in the first half. 7-3, Southern California leading. Here's the power I formation with Pinnock in the slot. And waiting for it now is the quarterback, Tommy Clements. And Notre Dame, with about 3 inches to go for the first down, it's Best with the football, and I don't know. They stopped him right at the line of scrimmage, and that was Charlie Anthony again. And now the Southern California bench jumps up. They're going to bring the chain out again. And I don't know whether he made it or not. They're placing that ball down on the 32-yard line, and they're bringing the chain out. I don't know whether he made it or not. I won't even hazard a guess. It's a first down for Notre Dame. On the 32-yard line, make it first down and 10 to go now for the Irish, and they just made that first down. Out of the huddle they come. In the slot on the right side is Eric Pinnock. Best and Bullock are the running backs. Tommy Clements, the quarterback, sends Pinnock in motion to the left, and the give is to Bullock, and Bullock plows down to the 29-yard line. Got about 3 yards on the play. Madarian is the man who made the tackle along with Jeter, and they're going to place the ball on the 29-yard line. Madarian in there making the tackle for the Southern California Trojans. It'll be a second down coming up and 7 yards to go. Dave Casper, the tight end, on the right side. Demerly on the left side. Waiting for it is Clements. Clements now on a pitch to Art Best. He cuts in over right guard. Best is hit at the 25 and brought down there. And making the tackle was Dale Mitchell, Jr., along with Charlie Anthony. And Al, what a ball game Anthony's playing.
I'd say he's playing a football game. He's a great football player. He has made 48 tackles, man, one of the key tacklers on this football team. He was a 3-year starter. He started as a sophomore. And did you know that he wants to run for mayor when he graduates from Southern Cal? He said he wanted to run for mayor of Fresno.
3 out of 7. Here's the pitch back to Pinnock, and Pinnock is fighting his way down to the 20. I believe he got a first down. He's down to the 20-yard line with it before Riley and Mitchell bring him down. And this, of course, it's going to be coming out of there now. Notre Dame, an offensive lineman checking out of there, was shaken up on the play. It's a first down for Notre Dame. And in there was number 77, Steve Quayle, and he was limping off the field. They had him in there to get a little more blocking. So move that ball on the 20-yard line, make it first down and 10 to go for Notre Dame. And out of the huddle they come. They trail 7-3. And they have Art Best in the slot on the left side. Waiting for it is Tommy Clements. Clements now on a pitch back to Pinnock. Pinnock is stacked up at the 23-yard line. He lost 3 yards on the play. And Charlie Phillips, the safety man, is the man who upset the blocking on that play and managed to stop Pinnock.
That's called blitzing, Van. And boy, when a fellow like that comes and you don't pick him up, he cause you all kind of trouble. Charlie Phillips was just blitzing across. They had the 5-man front up there trying to contain the runner, and Phillips blitzing, and he ran right into the play and stopped it cold.
Demerly's out wide to the right. They're in a double wing formation now. In motion goes Art Best, and here's Bullock on the draw play. He's down to the 16-yard line, down to the 14-yard line. He's pulled down by Mitchell and Phillips on the 14-yard line. He got very close to a first down. It's down on the 14-yard line. And Notre Dame now, Amarico doing a good job of blocking. And they have third down and about 3 yards to go. And here is a big play coming up for Notre Dame right here. Out of the huddle they come. Demerly is flanked out wide to the right side. They are in a double wing formation. Now the pro set they're in. And Pinnock and Bullock, the running backs, and Clements bootlegging the ball is going to be dropped on the 16-yard line by Gary Jeter, the big left tackle. He just diagnosed that play as Tommy tried to bootleg the ball. He hit it on his hip, ran off right tackle, and in comes Thomas to try one.
Well, he's going to be kicking, Van. I'm just checking to see. He's going to be kicking into the wind now, I believe. Nope, I beg your pardon. Looks like he'll have a slight wind behind him. The line of scrimmage is the 16-yard line, so the ball will be placed down at about the 23 or 24-yard line. It'll be a 34-yard field goal attempt. going to be the 23, so it'll be a 33-yard field goal attempt.
Well, he kicked one from 32 yards earlier. The ball is spotted by Doherty, and it's in the air, and it's good. Go with the score. Southern California 7, Notre Dame 6. There's a timeout on the field. Now this for Royal Globe Insurance.
What does a businessman in Ohio, a manager in California, and a homeowner in New Jersey have in common with thousands of other Americans? They all insure with Royal Globe. Why? Because at Royal Globe, we give you the kind of security you want from your insurance. By writing a policy tailored to your needs, by being there to help you get back on your feet fast when the unexpected happens. For your own security, ask a Royal Globe agent about insurance for your business, home, and car. Royal Globe, worldwide shield against the unexpected.
A 33-yard field goal by Bob Thomas in the Irish now within a point of Southern California. We have 5:26 remaining in the second period here at South Bend. This is Al Wester along with Van Patrick, Paul Pentecost, our mutual broadcast crew. On Monday night, we'll be in Buffalo. We've got a big one coming up there between the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. Interesting to note, Van, I think, that Notre Dame has played their game. They have had the ball control, 37 plays offensively to Southern California's 15.
Well, it's a little difficult for them to score on you when you've got the football, and that's the strategy they're utilizing. Going back is Anthony Davis now. Now, here's something that Eric talked about on the pregame show, and he said he might have Cliff Brown if the wind was at his back kick and try to kick it away, but he's got Thomas out there, and Davis is back there by himself. So hold on wherever you are. Here it goes, and here's the boot. He squib kicks it, and it's rolling around on the 25 and goes out of bounds. So wisely, the Southern California Alan Carter, the tailback, let it go out of bounds so it would force him to kick it over again. So they'll have to kick it over again. He's trying to squib kick that ball and keep it away from Anthony Davis, although it does give Southern California good field position. That's the fourth penalty, 30 yards against Notre Dame today.
Well, Southern Cal played that just right. Now, if you recall, Van, in the last kickoff to Notre Dame, after Southern Cal had taken a 7-3 lead, the ball was short. Both kicks Southern Cal has put in the air on the kickoffs have been short, down around the 5-8-yard line. The Notre Dame man, however, receiving that ball was over on the far sidelines at the 10-yard line when he took it, elected to run it back. I've got to believe, unless the ball took a weird bounce, that the Notre Dame man would have been smart to let that football go out of bounds and let him kick it again. Instead, he ran it back. All right, the Irish are going to kick off again. Here we go, Van.
On the 35-yard line, Thomas will kick, and he boots this squib kick around. It's going to roll around down into the end zone, and Davis is not going to run it away. There's his squib kick, but he was going to kick short, but he kicked into the end zone.
That's what you call a sailor, Van. That just slides along. I guess Hoyt Wilhelm or some of the boys who throw the old knuckler would know a little bit about that. They use the baseball that way. Comes out to the 20-yard line. Southern California has possession. First down at their 20. They lead 7-6. Oh, we've got a ball game that's piping hot here at South Bend, Indiana.
Okay, Notre Dame on the defense now. Southern California put McKay and Swan wide to the right side. Here's a pitch back to Anthony Davis on the sweep, and Davis is up the 23-yard line, and Sherman Smith brings him down. Let's see where they mark his knee hit the ground on the 22, so it'll be a 2-yard gain. One of Notre Dame's great fans, Adam Schwartz, who's 68 years old in Newton Square, Pennsylvania, who's made all these ball games for 40 years. He's missing today's game because of illness. And Dan Chambers of Buffalo, New York, who also attends all the Notre Dame games in the hospital back in Buffalo, New York. But they are listening. Wide to the right side now goes Swan, and here's Hayden on the give on the draw play to Medford Moore. Moore up the middle to the 25-yard line, and making the tackle there for Notre Dame, Collins and Smith. And they're going to mark it on the 25, where it'll be 3rd and 5 to go now for Southern Cal.
There's a great linebacker for Notre Dame, Greg Collins, the junior from Troy, Michigan. 56 tackles, leading tackler on the football team. He has 9 tackles for 38 yards and losses. He comes and gets the ball player. He doesn't wait for him to cross that line, and he has 1 fumble recovery. Greg Collins of Notre Dame.
1 out of 3 on 3rd down situations. Hayden going back to throw. He throws one long, and McKay can't hang on. Around the neighborhood of the 43-yard line, J.K. McKay, the coach's son from Sabina, California, couldn't hold on. And so Southern California is forced to punt, and Jimmy Lucas of Arcadia, California is coming in to do the kicking.
McKay ran a great pattern there, Van. He went down, made the fake to the inside, went to the outside, the far sideline by himself. Simply a matter of Hayden overthrowing him.
Bob Zinard is back around the 38-yard line. And here's the punt. He gets it away. And it's going to be out of bounds around the neighborhood of the 48-yard line or 47 of Southern California. If I can read the situation correctly, it'll be about a 27-yard kick. It'll be Notre Dame's ball, first down and 10 to go on the 47-yard line of Southern California. And they had the pressure on, and that's one of the reasons for the short kick. So mark it on the 47-yard line of Southern California. And Pinnock is coming out. He had gone out there. Now Goodman has replaced him. Bullock and Goodman and Pinnock and Clements are in the ball game. There's a timeout now with the score, Southern California 7, Notre Dame 6.
All the excitement of Notre Dame football 74, brought to you by Steve Barry Buick. And all the excitement of the 74 Buicks on display now at Barry Buick. Look, you know the 74 Buicks are going to be great cars, and you should know there's one place to get the best of the Buick for 74. That's at Barry Buick. Steve Barry's going all out on deals right from the start, and he's backing the play with the finest team of service technicians in the Midwest. The best of the Buick, the best deal, the best service from Barry Buick. 16,000 Detroit Avenue in Lakewood.
Russ Kornman apparently in the offensive lineup of Notre Dame. Well, we'll check it for you very quickly in case I've missed a number there, Van.
All right, Beckett. First and 10 to go on the 47-yard line of Southern California for Notre Dame. Goodman's in motion. The give is to Kornman. He's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage by Charlie Anthony again. That linebacker is all over the field there for Southern California, and he brought Kornman down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down coming up in 10 yards to go for Notre Dame. Clock shows 3:45 to play in the first half, and Southern California leading by exactly 1 point. Diminick is back in there, and he is on the left side, and flanked wide to the right is Dimmerly. Diminick goes in motion, and to give to Kornman, and Kornman off right tackle down to the 40-yard line. And a good run on the part of Kornman that time, down to the 40-yard line, and again, Anthony made the tackle.
Beautiful tackle trap play there. Steve Sylvester shooting out, firing out ahead there. Beautiful play for the Irish, and just for a moment it looked as though he might be caught, but I think the Irish upstairs here, their spotters, their coaches that are checking the defenses of Southern California, said, go at it again because you can get off that tackle.
80 yards on the ground so far for Notre Dame in this ball game. Diminick's in motion, and to give is to Kornman off right tackle. Well, he got very close to a first down, and Dick Wood is the man who brought him down. It's a first down for Notre Dame. So mark the ball on the 36-yard line and make it first down and 10 to go. First and 10 for Notre Dame. The ball on the 36. It's very overcast. It's about 50 degrees here at South Bend. Dimmerly is wide to the left side. Goodman's in the slot on the right side. And waiting for it now is the quarterback, Tommy Clements. And Clements rolling out to the left, looking for a receiver. Throws, caught by Dimmerly at the 23-yard line. And Cobb is the man who made the tackle as Dimmerly, the split in, picked it off. And so it will be another first down for Notre Dame on the 23-yard line of Southern California. Now, Al, you got to remember now, they've got only 2 minutes and 25 seconds, so they're battling Southern California and the clock as we go to work here now with the ball a first down on the 23. Wimberly's out wide to the right. Goodman's in the slot on the right side in the double wing. And it's Kornman trying the middle. He's hit right at the 23 by Charlie Anthony again. No gain on the play. 2 minutes, 7 seconds of playing time remaining. And I can hear Mike Stock and Joe Yanto yelling over here to my left, the Notre Dame coaches. That ball's on the 23-yard line of Southern California. And time has been called. So with the score, Southern California 7, Notre Dame 6, a timeout on the field. Now this for Red Ball Transit.
Football takes a lot of planning and teamwork. So does moving to a new home. American Red Ball excels in the moving business because they excel in planning and teamwork. They are a team of professional moving specialists, taking special care to execute their job in the best manner possible. That's the reason behind American Red Ball's rigid code of standards. It's the code an agent must meet, or he's off the team. For your next move, call your American Red Ball agent. He's made moving a spectator sport.
timeout on the field. It was called by Notre Dame, the Southern California band, playing across the field. And Bullock has gone back in the lineup now, replacing Kornman, who was shaken up. And Bullock has been running well with the ball, but they have been keying a little bit on Bullock today. So mark it now, 2nd down and 10 to go for Notre Dame. And Diminick is coming out, Goodman is coming out, and Best and Pennick are back in. So they got their first string running backs in there. Bullock has 30 yards and 8 carries.
I might point out quickly that Pete Demerly's caught 4 passes today, Van, for a total of 55 yards.
Throw set in motion goes Art Best, and here is Clements back to throw. He throws, and it is caught. And what a catch Demerly made. That's almost unbelievable. He was covered. The Notre Dame defensive back Wood was standing there waiting to intercept the ball, and Demerly stopped, cut back right in front of Wood, and caught the football.
That is catch number 5. I just pointed out 4 for 55 yards. So that is catch number 5. What an afternoon for Pete Demerly. That is his 18th pass reception of the year. That's very close to a first down. I don't know whether it is or not. No, it isn't. The officials indicate about a half yard to go, but Van with the ball at the 13-yard line of Southern California. A minute 46 remaining here in the first half.
3rd down and just inches to go for Notre Dame. That ball is on the 13-yard line of Southern California. Demerly made a sensational catch. Clements on the scoop. He's got a first down. He's on the 8. And Stewart is the man who stopped him, but let me give some credit to Mr. Comarico playing left guard for the job he did on that block. Going to mark it on the 9 where it'll be first down and goal to go for Notre Dame. But remember this, you've got a minute and 28 seconds of playing time remaining, and that clock is moving. So now they're battling the clock as well as Southern California. Here's Pennick on the sweep. He cuts back. He's hit at the 9, breaks the tackle, and he is finally brought down on the 9-yard line by Cobb and friend. And the clock is continuing to run. And they've called timeout. Notre Dame stops that clock with the ball on the 9-yard line, 2nd down and goal to go.
Steve Parker, Marvin Cobb, Ray Rodriguez, all of them holding on there. Now, you've heard of them ripping jerseys before, Van. Eric Pennick just about lost his trousers down there. They have ripped away a good part of the leg there. Believe me, this boy was really driving, and they had on one of the defenders from Southern California, had him by the leg and almost ripped the trousers off of him at the 9-yard line.
Starting to rain a little bit now here at Notre Dame Stadium. Patrick along with Al Western. It's nice to have Jerry Shirk at the Holiday Inn here, Al. I don't know where he hid all those people last night. I think they were sleeping on the grounds last night.
Hey, I had a bed, buddy.
Well, I was in the linen closet. Ball on the 9-yard line where it'll be 2nd down and goal to go for Notre Dame, and they've got a minute and 7 seconds to play. Now Demerly goes wide to the right. They're in a double wing formation. Clements sends Best in motion to the right. Clements is given on the draw to Best. He's down to the 5. He's down to the 2. He's brought down on the 2-yard line, and what a call he made. Anthony and Wood made the tackle.
I have never seen that play before. There's the new one. Chalk run up for error. He just pulled one out of the hat. He set in motion Art Best. Best made a little hop, step, skip, a hesitation, 3 steps. Then came the delayed handoff from Clements. By that time, the defensive line of Southern California had made their commitment. They had moved to the left to close the gap. Best went straight ahead with a man in front of him. Beautiful hesitation draw play, Van, but I have never seen it before.
No, he pulled a new one on us, and that makes it 3rd down and goal to go for Notre Dame with the ball on the 2. They should be about out of timeouts also.
2 tight ends are in there now, Van. Notre Dame is going to keep that ball on the ground. You can bank on that. They're down at the 1-yard line in Southern California now. Fines with the clock running out, 59 seconds to go, and leading 7-6. The Irish are in great position to take the lead.
That's just ahead of play now. What happens if 4th down comes up? And he's down on that 1-yard line. So let's just look ahead of play. What's going to happen then?
Oh, I'm not going to call him that fast.
All right, out of the huddle now, Notre Dame. With that ball down on the 2-yard line, and it will be 3rd down and goal to go with 59 seconds to play in the first half, and Southern California leading by a score of 7-6. Here is a big play. Clements looking around, checks everybody. He's got him in a pro set. Pinnock goes in motion. The give is to Bullock, and Bullock is down to the goal line, but I don't believe he went over. He stopped right down on about the 1-foot line. Notre Dame running back to the huddle quickly. They're out of timeout. They've got 45 seconds to play. They've got 43 seconds to go. The ball is on the 1-foot line. They're out of timeout. So Notre Dame back in that huddle. Now they're up to the line of scrimmage. And Clements is asking for quiet. The clock is moving. 30 seconds to go. Best in motion. The quarterback sneak. Touchdown, Notre Dame. Rico did a tremendous job. Rico did a tremendous job. He wedged the quarterback, Tommy Clements, through on the sneak. 47 yards in 10 plays, and Thomas will try the extra point. Waiting for the snap. The ball is spotted. The kick is up, and the kick is good. And the score is Notre Dame 13, Southern California 7, and this crowd is going absolutely wild.
Well, I know one thing. The Irish would have liked to run that clock down a little bit further, because with a half a minute, Southern California, trailing 13-7, has a chance to get back onto the scoreboard. The Irish defense now is going to be tested, but only for half a minute. And what a happy, happy band that is down there on the Notre Dame bench. They are really jumping and screaming and howling and saying the offense did the job. Tommy Clements had said they could do it. 47 yards, 10 plays on the scoreboard. Clements over left guard. Great block by Frank Pomerico to spring him loose.
Well, here's Thomas. He's going to try that squib kick again and keep it away from Anthony Davis. They've got exactly 30 seconds of playing time remaining in the first half, and Notre Dame leading 13-7. Here's the kick by Thomas. This one he boots away, and Davis has got it at the goal line. He's back to the 5, 10, 15, goes to the 20, and he is hit at the 25-yard line. There'll be no run back for Davis in the first half. They brought him down. That was Novikov who hit him, and he hit him hard. And Zanat was also in on the tackle. He was shaken up on the play, Bob Zanat. And so Southern California calls the timeout. They've got 27 seconds of playing time remaining. They've got the football on their own 24-yard line. They trail 13-7. We were promised a head knocker today at South Bend, and believe me, we're getting it. Minnesota's leading Michigan 3-0. Now McKay is flanked out wide to left. Hayden is going back to throw. He throws, and it's caught out there by Swan, and Bradley really hit it on the 28-yard line.
Luther Bradley's been bird dogging Lynn Swan every time he sped out. It's been Bradley on Swan all the way, and the big freshman from Muncie, Indiana, can really bird dog you. The minute that ball hit the arms of Lynn Swan, Bradley, who's a big man, 6'2", 194 pounds, simply racked him up.
Southern California called the timeout again. It's Notre Dame 13, Southern California 7. The clock shows 16 seconds remaining. 16-0. Ohio State is leading Northwestern. Oklahoma 7, Kansas State nothing. A first quarter score. And here it's 13-7 Notre Dame over Southern California. Next Saturday the Navy will be here at South Bend, Indiana. And on Monday night we'll be in Buffalo, New York. And over many of these stations, the Kansas City Chiefs against the Buffalo Bills, and O.J. Simpson will be in action in that ball game. He's heading toward that 1,000-yard rushing mark, and that should be quite a ball game. But we really had some excitement out in Denver last Monday night. We had a lot of fun out there in the Mile High City. That was a tremendous ball game. It wound up in a 23-23 tie. McNeil is in, and Davis is out. That's a change for Southern California. Braun and McKay are flanked on the right side. 16 seconds, and Hayden calls the signals and goes back to throw. Hayden looks and throws, and it is intercepted by Bradley. And Bradley is knocked down as he ran into Townsend. Notre Dame is out of timeout. It's intercepted by Bradley, but they're out of timeout before they stop the clock on the changeover. if you're disappointed in the fact that he was knocked down, they had a few Southern California tacklers around him, Al. I don't think he'd have gone too far.
No, I don't believe he'd have made any real gain there, but the big guy really rolls that backfield. He is a fine defensive back. And imagine this now. He's a youngster. He's only 18 years old then, a freshman. Good-looking football player.
The ball is on the 49-yard line of Southern California, and Clements brings him out of the huddle and sends Goodman in motion to the right. He's going back to throw, and he throws the bomb downfield to Diminick, and it's incomplete. He was covered by two men. That stops the clock. Young Mr. Clements did not fall on the football and ran out the clock. He tried to get on that board.
I got to tell you something. I've been looking in my glasses at Mr. Ron Goodman, who was on the far sidelines at the 10-yard line all by his lonesome. I'm sure Tommy didn't see him, or that football would have been winging on the way in that direction instead of in the to the near side in the pack.
All right, now it is 3 seconds to go. Clements going back to throw again. He fires, sideline pattern incomplete. It's incomplete, and that'll run out the clock. That's the end of the first half, and look where this crowd. They're giving Notre Dame an elevation in Southern California. The end of the first half with the score. Notre Dame 13, Southern California 7. Now this for contact.
Down below, ladies and gentlemen, the famous Southern California Trojan marching band comes across the field. It's one of the finest marching bands, I think, in the country. All bedecked in red and gold and solid as far as music goes. Very quickly, we might very quickly run down unofficially the stats that I have to tell you on the first half. And this is unofficial. Paul Pentecost has given us the quick stats. We'll have the official stats a little later on. First down, Notre Dame 11, Southern California 3. 101 yards rushing for the Irish, 33 yards on the ground for USC. 65 yards passing for Notre Dame and 42 for the Trojans. So the Irish have 166 yards, with the Trojans 75. Notre Dame completing 6 of 12 passes. Southern California completing 4 out of 8. I think the kicking game of the Trojans is something that must be improved in the second half. While the Irish have averaged 40 yards to kick, not quite up to par for Brian Doherty, who's been averaging 44 yards to kick. Southern California has punted 3 times, and they've got only 25 yards to kick. No fumbles in the ball game. As far as that goes, the situation is solid and steady there.
Making the tackle there for Notre Dame was Fry. He finally got him down around the neighborhood of the 35. I'll just have to wait till they mark the ball. We still have that slight rain here at South Bend. A 32-yard return by Anthony Davis. And the ball is just over the 35, although they haven't placed it down yet. And we're just getting underway now in the third quarter. It's on the 35. That's it. 1st and 10. Wide the right side is McKay. Hayden is the quarterback. Anthony Davis, the top of that I formation. Medford Moore is in front of him. And here's the give to Davis. Off left tackle, and Davis is hit as he reaches the 40-yard line, but he got 5 yards, and Potemka and Rudnick make the tackle for Notre Dame. He got 5 yards on the play. And Davis, in the first half of this ball game, gained 20 yards, so he's got 25 yards now today.
Beautiful block there as Booker Brown made the hole. He opened the way. He flip-flops, and he was over to the left side on that, and he really cut a hole there to get that runner through.
McKay on the right side. He split out wide in an I formation again. Swan's in the slot on the right side. And here's the give now to the running back, Anthony Davis. He cracks right up the middle to the 46-yard line, and he is very close to a first down. He might have a first down. And it's a first down for Southern California. Potemka and Fanning made the tackle for Notre Dame. And that's a total of 8. So mark the ball now on the Southern California 46-yard line, and McNeil is coming. Check that. We've got a new man coming in here. Davis is going out. And we've got a new running back in here for Southern California. And that's Carter coming in. Carter's in the backfield now, replacing Anthony Davis. I formation. McKay flanked out to the right. The pitch out to Carter. He's trying to sweep. Cuts in. Gets to the 49 to the 50 and brought down on the 50 by Collins and Potemka on the 50-yard line. So a gain on that play of about 4 yards. So evidently, John McKay is going to try to run that ball a little here, Al, in this third quarter.
Jim Stock had a shot at him just a moment ago, Van. He would have lost yardage on it. Stock missed his tackle. He got only one arm around him. Southern California now is going to play the game maybe a ball control a little while, try to make the catch-up. You know, that's one thing Arrow wanted to not have to do, play catch-up football. Well, he's starting the second half ahead instead of behind.
Davis is back in there, and here's the give to Davis. He tries the middle, breaks into the clear at the 40, gets down to the 42-yard line, and is brought down on the 42 by Rudnick and Browner, and it's a first down for Southern California. First and 10 to go now for the Trojans. The ball is on the Notre Dame 42-yard line, so Southern California coming right back. Now Moore goes out, and we got some changes in that backfield. Moore's coming back in now. Gray is the man who went out of there. Anthony Davis is out, and we've got Carter back in there in the backfield for Southern California. Wide receiver McKay is split out to the left side, and here's a pitch back now to Carter. Carter cutting in a tackle is hit at the 41-yard line and shoved all the way back to the 43. And making the tackle was Drew Mahalik along with Haydick, and they brought him down on the 41-yard line where they're going to mark it. Gained a yard on the play. It'll be second down and 9 to go now for Southern California.
Tempa and Mahalik coming up there strong now. This is the one way they're going to be able to stop that running game. He's got those linebackers moving in and sliding into the holes a lot faster. It's going to be strictly up to the linebackers on the pursuit there. That front line of Notre Dame's is crashing across. They're putting the pressure on the quarterback. They're trying to get to the ball carrier, but the linebackers have got to make the tackles.
Davis is back in there, and here's the quarterback, Hayden, going back to throw, and he unloads one that is incomplete. Swan was the intended receiver, and you can credit Luther Bradley for a great save on that one.
I'll say you can over there, but now wait a minute. We got a ball player down on the ground here, and coming up very slowly. He's all right, though, is Anthony Davis. He apparently is okay.
Coming in now is Bob Adolph in at quarterback, replacing Hayden. Hayden got hit pretty good. He was shaken up a little bit, so Adolph goes in to replace him. 1 out of 4 on third down situations. Ball on the 41-yard line. It's third down and 9 to go. And here's the quarterback on a pitch back to Davis. The flag is down, and Davis is nailed as he tried to sweep on the left side, and he was hit and hit hard.
Great play by Jim Stock. Jim Stock is the man who did the trick. That big defensive end was in there and handling it beautifully. Illegal. There was a flag on the play. Illegal motion by Southern California, declined by Notre Dame. They will accept the play instead. The ball is back at the Irish 47, 48-yard line, Van.
Rudnick now is going back in the safety spot. The punter, Jimmy Lucas, is in there for Southern Cal. Check it. We've got another punter in there now for Southern California. And it's Boulware in to do the kicking. And he kicks it away. Rudnick calls for the fair catch and grabs the ball on about the 16-yard line. It got away from him, but he recovered it on the 16 after a 32-yard kick. That pigskin got a little elusive.
Well, it might be a little wet out there, Van, because as you pointed out, there is a light rain falling here, and they've got the umbrellas out. They've got the raincoats on. But the Irish have possession. It's at the 15-yard line, and that's where they'll put it in play. There's a timeout, Van, on the field here with a score. Notre Dame 13, Southern California 7.
All the excitement of Notre Dame football brought to you by Barry Buick all season long. All the excitement of the brand new 74 Buick now on display at Barry Buick. Steve showing all the 74s. The new restyled Buick. They're all here. The totally new Riviera. The luxurious Electras. The practical LeSabres. Mid-size Regal. And Buick's new economy car, the Apollo. All new for 1974. And you know Barry Buick is the place to get the best of a Buick this fall. The best deal, right on the money. The best service from the most highly competent service team in the Midwest. Buick 74 and college football. Both exciting and both brought to you by Barry Buick. Don't miss your chance to get the best of a Buick this fall. Come on out today. See all the gorgeous 74 Buicks and find out how little it costs to actually own one at Barry Buick. Steve Barry Buick. He's at 16,000 Detroit Avenue in Lakewood.
Ready to go now with the first down on the 15-yard line, and Clements on the give now to Pinnock, and Pinnock is at the 25, the 30, the 35, the 50, the 40, the 35, the 30, the 25, the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Notre Dame! me or not, Eric Pennick has just gone 85 yards for a touchdown. A tremendous run. He's been mobbed by his teammates and the Notre Dame cheering section. The Irish lead him 19-7. And DiNardo did a tremendous job, Al. He delivered the key block that sprung him loose.
Oh, what a block. What a run. As he got to the 20-yard line, one Southern Cal man reached out with a hand, got him by the jersey. Pennick pulled away and left him laying on the turf to go for the score. Here's the point after try. Notre Dame leading 19-7.
Bob Thomas will try. The ball will be spotted by Doherty. The kick is up, and the kick is good. And with the score, Notre Dame 20, Southern California 7. There's a timeout on the field. Now this for Royal Globe Insurance.
Royal Globe offers insurance only through independent insurance agents for a good reason. When you buy your insurance through an independent agent, you know his first concern is with your needs because you're his client. When he advises you to take a Royal Globe policy, you know he believes it's the right policy for you. You'll also be sure of getting the kind of service you've always wanted from your insurance company. Because Royal Globe has 7,000 service and claims people to help you and your insurance agent when the unexpected happens. Royal Globe, worldwide shield against the unexpected.
What was it John McKay said about the big play? He said you can't grind it in on this Notre Dame team. He said you can't play ball control with them. The way you beat them is with the big play. The Irish played their game, ball control the first half. Now they're taking McKay at his own word. They come back with the big play, and here's the kickoff.
And the ball is taken by Carter back to the 10, the 15, to the 20, the 25. Carter's down on the 25-yard line. And the tackle was made in there by Notre Dame's number 26, Lipinski. Lipinski made the tackle on the 25. 22 yards on the return. So it'll be first down and 10 to go now. Let's see where they're going to put it down. Well, they're going to put it on the 30. So it'll be first down and 10 to go from the 30-yard line. Well, we hope you're enjoying the ball game and the excitement wherever you are today. Notre Dame leads 20-7 over Southern California. Davis back in there now on the top of the eye. Swans to the left. And here's the quarterback, Hayden, back to throw. He fires one, and it's incomplete. Intended for Swan, and Lipinski fell down. He had no chance to defend, but the ball was thrown too wide.
Tom Lipinski in there at one of the extra defensive back, the young sophomore from Akron, Ohio. He really didn't have to play him too tight on that man because the ball was just a little bit too wide for him. Now, here is Davis going to the sidelines. He'll be replaced probably in the backfield by Carter, but we'll have to check that now when they come up to the line. No, McNeil.
McNeil is in there. Two wide flankers. Hayden going back to throw. He fires. It is caught at the 44-yard line. And the tackle is made immediately by Lipinski. And a flag is down here on the 49-yard line. McKay and Barnett were bumping each other down on the 48-yard line. Let me say this. They put Lipinski in there as a cornerback, and they've been picking on him the last two plays.
Well, it's understandable. He's a sophomore, and they want to play that area over there on him. Now, let's see about the flag.
Barnett is coming out of the ball game.
The officials are sending him out, Van. Reggie Barnett, personal foul apparently. He has been sent to the sidelines, and down below there are some mad coaches for the Irish.
And a 15-yard penalty, too, against Notre Dame. And he's being replaced by Tim Rudnick in that secondary. That's a fifth penalty, 45 yards, and that's a costly one because you lose 15 yards on a ball player.
And when you lose a ball player as good as Reggie Barnett in your defensive umbrella, you have lost a whole lot in the ball game.
Lipinski's dropping off to cover McKay. Waiting for it now is Hayden. He's going back to throw again. He looks and throws, and it's caught. And they picked on Rudnick on the first play, and Swan grabs the ball and goes out of bounds on the 27-yard line. There's no question what the strategy was going to be there. They're going to test Rudnick on the first play.
Well, they're going to throw that sideline pattern. I'll tell you, frankly, they're giving him too much room over there. They're giving them the 15-yard sideline patterns. And this is what Southern California came into this game, had been scouted. They knew that they threw this way. They like to go down 15, cut in or cut out. Swan has caught 4 for 48 yards, man.
Davis is back in there. McKay is wide to the right. Lipinski's covering him. Waiting for it is Hayden. He sends in motion now, a running back, and here's the give to Davis, and Davis has really felt it at the 26 by Townsend and Collins. They both hit him, and they hit him hard as he reached the line of scrimmage, the 27-yard line. No gain on the play. It'll be second down and 10 to go now for Southern California. McNeil is coming in replacing Davis. We've got 10 minutes and 15 seconds of playing time remaining in the third quarter. Very overcast here at South Bend. Notre Dame's leading Southern California 20-7, but the Trojans are on the move. We've got rain here. High formation in the slot is Len Swan. McKay's on the left side. Hayden going back to throw. Hayden sets up, looks, throws one, and look out. It is caught for a touchdown. Caught for a touchdown. Lipinski was the man back there, but he couldn't do anything about it, and it's picked off for a touchdown. Len Swan is the man who caught it. They went 70 yards in 5 plays. It looked like he might be out of bounds when he caught that ball, but he came down inbounds, and the Trojans are right back in the ball game. Now we'll have the try for point, and the Trojans have come right back on the arm of Pat Hayden. And Swan, of course, who is a great receiver. Lumahalu attempts the extra point. The kick is up and good. So there's a timeout with the score. Notre Dame 20, Southern California 14.
All the excitement of Notre Dame football 74, brought to you by Steve Barry Buick. And all the excitement of the 74 Buicks are on display now at Barry Buick. Look, you know the 74 Buicks are going to be great cars, and you should know there's one place to get the best of a Buick for 74. That's at Barry Buick. Steve Barry's going all out on deals right from the start, and he's backing the play with the finest team of service technicians in the Midwest. The best of a Buick, the best deal, the best service from Barry Buick. 16,000 Detroit Avenue in Lakewood.
The sidelines, Van Ara Parsegan, his coaching staff, all talking to one of the officials. They do not like the fact that one of their key defensive backs, Reggie Barnett, was put out of this football game, was thumbed to the sidelines, and now Southern California's touchdown comes at the very spot that Barnett would have been guarding. You know, I say a football game of this magnitude should not be influenced by an official's decision. I may hear a lot of howls about this, putting a football player out of the game.
Brad Rice will kick off. The deep men are Hunter and Deminick for Notre Dame, and they're around the 5-yard line, not figuring him to kick it into the end zone. It's 20-14, and here's the boot. It's a short kick. They had it figured right. Hunter's got it on the 10, 15, 20. He's back to the 25. He brings it back to the 31-yard line before he's brought down by Roberson. And Hunter almost broke it. He almost got away. And they're going to mark that ball 1st and 10 on the 30 where his knee hit the ground. It'll be first down and 10 to go for Notre Dame. And the Irish go back in the huddle. Tommy Clements, the quarterback. And Southern California are lining defensively. Brennan out over the ball. Pomerico and DiNardo, the guards. Bullock is in there. Art Best is in there. And Eric Pennick, who went for the touchdown a moment ago, 85, and now waiting for it is Clements. He sends Pennick in motion, and the give is to Pennick. Pennick's at the 35 and pulled down on the 35-yard line. A 5-yard gain on the play. Making the tackle was Wood, along with Rodriguez of Southern California, and mark it on the 35 with 9.5 minutes to play third quarter.
Urick would go nowhere without those fine pulling guards. Jerry DiNardo and Frank Pomerico again pull and swing to the left. They open the way. They give him the running room that he needs, and that's close to 5 yards, as you pointed out, Van. We'll have to call it a 5-yard gain. Second down about 5 as they line up.
Pennick in the slot on the right. No wide receivers. Pennick in motion to the left. The give is to Bullock. Bullock is hit at the 36-yard line by Doris and Wood. And he only got about a yard on that play. That's all. So that'll bring up the third down and 4 yards to go for Notre Dame. Notre Dame leading by a score of 20-14. The Navy will be here next Saturday afternoon. We'll broadcast that game over many of these stations and around the world. From the 36, it is third down and 5. 7 out of 11 on the third down situations for Notre Dame. Pennick in the slot, Best in the slot in the double wing formation. In motion goes Art Best, and the give is to Best, and Best following his blockers, cuts in, and he's going to be dropped. Right on the 37-yard line, and Mitchell was in there, and they brought him down. That defense reacting quickly there. Reese, Mitchell making the tackle. Now it'll be fourth down, and Brian Doherty comes in to do the kicking for Notre Dame. Dropping back, Anthony Davis along with Swan in the double safety spot for Southern California, and I'm sure Doherty will try to keep it away from him.
Well, what do you do now? You got to kick away from both these guys because they can take the mail and bring it all the way home.
Standing back inside the 25 is Brian Doherty. Perfect pass from center. Gets his kick away, and he booms it high. All the way down to the 22-yard line. It's taken there. A flag is down. And Swan has the football. He breaks the tackle, breaks another tackle. He's at the 15, and he's finally thrown down on the 17-yard line by Casper, and 2 flags are down as the official got clipped. 41 yards on that kick.
Well, I saw a clipping penalty on the first flag. I don't know what the second flag was called, but I tell you something, Southern California's temper is beginning to flare and show a little bit there. On that kick, Joe Alvarado, who does the snapping for the punting team, was down there, and apparently one of the Southern Cal boys is very unhappy with the way that Joe handled him. But Joe handled him with a good clean block, a solid one. We got a Mexican standoff, it looks like, Van. Both of them have penalties.
Well, Notre Dame would have been far better off had they left the first flag alone, but then they got one themselves. And so it's a standoff. And so the ball will be spotted. We'll have to wait and see what the officials do with it. Now they're moving it back.
We got a third flag, Van, and they are stepping it off now against Southern Cal.
So they've moved the ball all the way back down to the 11-yard line. And it will be Southern California's ball on the 11. 3 flags. What's the maximum for flags on one play?
Well, how many officials you got?
Second penalty, 16 yards against Southern California. They've been comparatively free of penalties. Swan is on the right side with Diggs now. They have 2 wide receivers. And here's Hayden on the give now to Davis, and Davis is to the 14-yard line and brought down by Drew Mahalik. Series originating on the 11, so Davis got 3 yards on the play, and it'll be 7.5 minutes to go in the third quarter, 20-14 Southern Cal.
4 yards.
Diggs out of there. And Swan is in there, and also coming in, number 21 is Carter and McNeil. So wide to the right side now is McKay. Davis in 15 carries has only 35 yards today. Now then, the quarterback, Hayden, is asking for time. He wants a new football because it's raining here in South Bend. He didn't want to handle that wet football, so he asked for time, and the official brings one out. And the ball is marked on the 14-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down and 6 to go for Southern California. The clock moving, 6:55 to go in the third quarter. Notre Dame on top by 6 points. They have Moore and McNeil and McKay and Swan in there. And here's Hayden going back to throw again. He gets time, and he throws, and it's just out of the fingertips of Luther Bradley, who almost intercepted that ball. Swan was the intended receiver, and they double-teamed him that time, Al.
Swan had Mahalik and Tim Rudnick hanging on him, and Luther Bradley covering a great deal of ground to get across the field and put one hand out and touch the football. All right, Ben, we've got a big third down play as far as Southern California is concerned. The Irish hold here. No matter what kind of kick you get off, you're going to give the Irish pretty good field position now offensively.
1 out of 5 on third down situations today. High formation, 2 wide receivers on the left side. Diggs is flanked out over there. Here's a draw play to Carter. He's nailed at the 16-yard line by Greg Collins. And so Hayden thought he might cross him up with a draw, but Collins was not fooled on the play.
Well, if you remember in the first half, the Irish were in a similar position. They needed yardage, and they came back with a draw, and now almost everybody, including Southern California, expected the forward pass. So this is what's called a game of chess, a game of strategy out there, with the 2 quarterbacks and their coaches on the bench calling the shots for them.
Boulware is in to do the kicking. Mike Norton is in there on this kick return team. And going back, we have Bob Zanat along with Tim Rudnick. Boulware standing on about the 1-yard line. Gets a good pass from center. Gets his kick away. And it's bounding around on the 45 to the 50. Gets a good roll. He got a good kick that time. Rolled all the way down to the 41-yard line of Notre Dame. A good kick. That's a kick of 43 yards. And it'll be 1st down and 10 to go now for Notre Dame. And they'll have the ball on their own 41. And with the score, Notre Dame 20, Southern Cal 14. There's a timeout on the field. And now this for United Airlines. Travel arrangements for the broadcast of this game in cooperation with United Airlines. And to the hard-charging business traveler of this land, United Airlines dedicates friendship service. It's a ticket in less than a minute to help keep you out of lines. On most flights, a table for 2 in coach when no one's in the middle. And extra roomy closets to keep you wrinkle-free. United Airlines friendship service. Good reason more people choose the friendly skies than any other airline in the land.
Band across the way, the Southern California band picks up, and let's see if we can pick up the band. Notre Dame is in possession at their 41-yard line, and the Southern California defensive unit now goes back to work. And the Irish, leading 20-14, have excellent field position. Here we go, Ben.
All right, ready to go now with that ball on the 41-yard line, and waiting for it is Clements. He sends Goodman in motion and gives him the football, and he's going to be tackled. And a fine defensive play by Rodriguez nailed him back on about the 38-yard line. So he lost a couple of yards on the play. And so mark the ball now on the 38-yard line, a loss actually of 3. And Dimmerly, Weber was in there for a play, had 2 tight ends. And so now the ball is going to be marked on the 38, where it'll be second down. 13 yards to go for Notre Dame. Goodman in the slot on the right side. Art Best is in motion, and here's Clements going back to throw. He's being rushed out there. Clements looks, throws deep to Goodman, incomplete. He had him wide open. He had him behind everybody, and he overthrew him.
And I'll tell you something else. He had 2 blockers that were going to the sidelines with him there. Had he chosen, Tommy Clements could have gone down the sidelines. He was trying to wait for that man to shake loose, and Ron Goodman was down there, but that ball was just out of bounds.
In the third quarter, Duke 10, Maryland 10. Virginia leads Wake Forest 14-10 in the fourth quarter. North Carolina State 16, Clemson 6. TCU and Tennessee are scoreless. Mississippi State leading Southern Mississippi 3-0. Mississippi ahead of Vanderbilt 10-0. Kentucky leads their opponent today, Georgia 10-7. Dimmerly is wide to the right side. Clements going back to throw. Throws a screen pass to Casper at the 40 to 45. Casper's knocked out of bounds by Anthony at about the 48-yard line. He almost got another 4 or 5 there, but they bumped him out of bounds on the screen pass. Shut out there on the third down situation, so it'll be fourth down and about 2.5, and that'll force Notre Dame to kick.
Charlie Anthony saved the day right there, because had the Irish crossed the 50-yard line and got that first down, they might have picked up the head of steam, the momentum that they have not been able to pick up here in the second half so far. 20-14, Notre Dame in front, and they go into punt formation.
And Doherty is back on the 35. Michigan's running away with Minnesota 24-0. Here's the snap. They may be offside. Here's the kick by Doherty. Southern California may have been offside. Fair catch is called for by Davis on the 13. But a flag is thrown, and they're going to bring it back, and that'll be a first down for Notre Dame. And that'll be a break for the Irish.
Well, it's plays like this, Van, that does give a football team momentum. It's big plays like this and breaks. And that defensive right tackle there, Art Riley, made the jump. He came across just as the ball was snapped, or just before it was snapped. So jumping the gun costs Southern California 5 yards, moves it over the midfield stripe. Notre Dame has first down at the Southern California 47-yard line. Light rain again.
That's the third penalty, 21 yards, 15 first downs for Notre Dame, and Weber is in there now for Notre Dame. He's 2 tight ends in there now for Notre Dame. Double wing formation. In motion is Best, and the give is to Bullock, and Bullock tries the middle to the 45, and he gets 2 on the play, and that's all. And Richard Wood makes the tackle. Now, Al, he's utilizing 2 tight ends, Notre Dame, taking Dimmerly out, and he had a tremendous first half. He's just trying to get a little more blocking up there on these running plays. Notre Dame leading 20-14. We've got 4.5 minutes to play in the third quarter. We'll get a station break after this play. Clements looking over at the Notre Dame bench, and he puts Goodman in the slot on the right side, sends him in motion now to the left, gives it to Bullock, and Bullock puts his head down and plows straight ahead to the 41. Wood and Rodriguez make the tackle, and let's take 10 seconds for station identification. This is Mutual, your news and sports radio network. Goodman is going out. Going out of there is Doris, the linebacker. Pennock is back in. Art Best, Bullock, and Pennock in that backfield with Clements. Best is in motion, and here is the give to Bullock, and Bullock diving in over right guard to about the 36 or 7, and Anthony tripped him up. And now then, what are you going to do? They're going to bring the chain out. He's very close. They're motioning, although they haven't brought it out yet. And it'll be fourth down, and just about, we're going to have to get the chain out to see exactly. I would say about a half a yard, Al, to go.
I believe he's got about a half yard too, Van, but they're going to bring it across, and sometimes you can get a little distorted as you look down from here, but it may not even be a half yard. Yes, measuring it is Tommy Clements. Clements says a half yard to go. Here we go, fourth down. Fourth down, and we'll have Russ Kornman, I believe, coming into the ball game. The Irish are inside of the 40-yard line of Southern California at the Southern Cal 37-yard line, and they're about a half yard shy of the first down. Fourth down, big play. Bullock, incidentally, Van, 39 yards, 13 carries. Notre Dame 191 yards rushing today.
Well, Bullock was shaken up a little bit, so Kornman has replaced him. It's a power I formation. Both ends are in tight. And here's a fumble, but it's caught in the air by Kornman. You're not going to believe this. You're not going to believe it. Clements fumbled the ball in the air, and Kornman caught the ball and went for a first down. Now, how about that? The 16th first down. And moved the ball down to the 32-yard line. I've seen them all.
I want to tell you something, buddy. Somebody likes this football team. We're getting a little extra help today.
Bullock is back in there in a double wing formation. Clements waiting for it, and he pitches it to Pinnock, and Pinnock off left tackle, 30 to 25. He's down to the 23-yard line, and Charlie Anthony brings him down. He got 9 yards on the play. 2 minutes and 35 seconds to play, and Bullock did a good job of blocking on that play. It's Notre Dame 20, Southern California 14, 2.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. And what a football game we're seeing at South Bend, and we hope you're enjoying it wherever you are today. Mark that ball on the 23.5-yard line with second down, about 1.5 yards to go. Pinnock in the slot, Best in motion on the keeper, goes Clements. He's down to the 20, and then shoved right back by Cobb. And they may have to get the chain out. He ought to have a first down there, Al.
Rodriguez hanging on to him, and I'm sure it is. Yep, that's right, man. You can hear the cheers go up. 2 minutes and 6 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Notre Dame leading 20 to 14. The Irish are down there at the 20-yard line with a first down, knocking on the door again. And the Southern California defense is really being tested and tested strongly. And remember this, it's been a running game. It's been ball control, the Irish game, and they're playing it all the way.
Double wing formation. Clements on the call now from the 21, and he gives it to Best. Best off right tackle. He cuts back in at the 17-yard line and is nailed at the 17 by Wood. But he got 3 yards on the play. And there's an injured Notre Dame player. We'll get the glasses on him right away.
That's Kornman, Van. Russ Kornman.
3 yards. Phillips on the tackle.
Phillips made the tackle, and we're checking now. Kornman was shaken up on the play, and Parisi is coming in here now at fullback for Notre Dame. And Bullock, as you know, is a little shaky himself. And they're getting Kornman to his feet. And you'll hear the applause for him.
Kornman was shaken up on the last play.
They're taking Kornman off the field, and he's being assisted. Gene Pasquette, the trainer. 20 to 14, Notre Dame leading. 1 minute and 32 seconds to go. Second down and 7 yards to go. The ball is on the 17-yard line of Southern California. Goodman and Diminick are coming in now. And coming out is Pinnock, and coming out is Art Best. Navy will be here next Saturday. Out of the huddle now. Here's a double wing formation. Parisi's in there at fullback. Now they go into a pro set. And in motion goes Diminick, and Clements is going back to throw. He's looking, he's in trouble, now he throws. It is incomplete and almost intercepted. The Notre Dame passer Clements threw that ball right into Kevin Bruce's hands, and he dropped it.
Kevin Bruce had that football right at the goal line and drops it in there again as a big break, but that's a slippery football. The rain is coming down just a wee bit heavier. Not real heavy rain, but a light rain falling here, the kind that can wet you down. And I'm sure it must dampen the spirits of Southern California, trailing 20 to 14 with 1 minute and 2 remaining here in the third period at South Bend. And the Irish down there knocking at the door. Third down for Notre Dame at Southern Cal 17.
And 7 yards to go. Big play right here, double wing formation. They split Weber out wide to the left side, the tight end. Goodman's in motion. Clements is back, and he gives it on the draw to Goodman. Goodman is down to the 15, to the 14, and he's tackled on the 14-yard line. And there was Bruce making the tackle. And so it will be fourth down, and in comes Bob Thomas. He's kicked him from the 32 and from the 33. He's kicked 2 field goals today, and this one will be of the shorter variety after the 2 32 and 33s. And this one will be from the about 22-yard line, which will make it, well, it'll be 32 yards when they get through with it.
Would you say this is one of those Royal Globe insurance policies that the Irish need?
Well, he'd like to have it. It's in the air. It's good. A 30, did I say 2 or 3 yards? 33 yards. So Notre Dame leading now by a score of 23 to 14, and down below us there, Bob Boyd, is the Notre Dame band, and let's listen to them. Clements will kick off, and Davis is back there, and here's the boot. Kicks it end over end, and Davis gets it on the run on the 12. Gets behind that wedge. He's back to the 30, 35, 36. Tackled on the 36-yard line. And the tackle was made there by Novikov of Notre Dame. And a return of 24 yards by Anthony Davis. We have 17 seconds to go in the third quarter. Notre Dame leading 23-14. And now the official picks up the football and covers it with a towel to keep it dry for quarterback Pat Hayden. Davis, Moore, and Swan in the backfield. And here's Swan out wide to the right. Obradovich and McKay are the ends. They haven't thrown to that tight end once today. Two wide receivers in an I formation, and here's Hayden going back to throw. Look at the time he's got. He throws over the middle. It's incomplete. It was intended for Swan, and Luther Bradley made a tremendous defensive play.
I'll say he did, and the way he came at the ball, Van, he lifted his arms up. He intended fully that if Swan made the catch, he was going to lift Swan up. Well, he lifted the football instead. That's the way you jar the receivers loose from those balls that are what you call gut passes, right down the middle, right plop into the center section. They're hard to knock down, but you can hit the ball player. You can jar them loose.
Ray is in, and Medford Moore goes out at the running back. We've got 12 seconds to go in the third quarter. McKay and Swan are both on the right side now, the wide receivers, I formation. Hayden now pitching it back to Anthony Davis, and he is nailed on the 32-yard line by Rudnick and Jim Stock.
Boy, Tim Rudnick played him just right. Jim Stock played him outside to turn him in, and then whacked him but good. The clock has run out, then. That is the end of the third quarter with the score. Notre Dame 23, Southern California 14.
In football, college or pro or any level, it takes teamwork to get the job done, to establish a winning tradition. The same thing is true of selling new cars, and no one knows it better than Steve Barry. At Barry Buick, you see teamwork, sales and service people working closely together to make absolutely sure you're a satisfied customer. That's what makes the winning tradition at Barry Buick. And now the 74s are here. All the gorgeous new 74 Buicks are on display at Barry Buick. Now is the time to find out how to get the best of a Buick this fall. Best deal? We're dealing hard right from the start. Best service? We really believe we've got the best service team in the Midwest. The best of a Buick. Isn't that what you wanted all along? Come on out to Barry Buick today. See all the beautiful 74 Buicks and find out how little it costs to get the best of a Buick from Barry Buick. 16,000 Detroit Avenue in Lakewood. That's right, get the best of a Buick from Steve Barry Buick, 16,000 Detroit Avenue in Lakewood.
Then here statistics on the first three quarters quickly. They are very interesting. Paul Pentecost just handing him along to me. Notre Dame has 17 first downs, Southern California 12. The Irish have 214 yards rushing. They have 89 yards passing. A total of 303 yards offensively to Southern California's 43 yards on the ground, 94 yards passing. What a great job the defensive unit of the Irish has done for three quarters in retaining Tony Davis, Anthony Davis, the great runner of Southern California. Notre Dame has completed 7 of 15. Southern California has completed 7 of 15. The Southern California punting game has been miserable this afternoon. 5 kicks, 28.5 yards a kick. Notre Dame 3 punts, a 40-yard average. And that kicking game has been very, very costly to Southern California in giving the Irish excellent field position. Here's some scores, partial scores that we've just been handed. Miami leads Syracuse 19-9 in the third quarter. Penn State leads West Virginia 42-14 in the third quarter. Pittsburgh has Navy 16-6 in the third quarter. And here's the fourth quarter score. East Carolina and North Carolina, a 21-21 tie. Let's go. Here we go. Van Patten.
High formation. 2 wide receivers on the right side. Third down. 13 yards to go. Here's Hayden going back to throw. He throws, and it is incomplete. Intended for Swan, and Swan slipped down. And Obradovich was there also, but it's incomplete. It's fourth down, Southern California. And now the Trojans will be forced to kick.
Man, that's the fourth time. That's the fourth time that Pat Hayden has tried to work on Tom Lopinski. 4 straight passes in his area.
Well, Boulware's in to do the kicking again. Boulware standing back around the 15-yard line. Bob Zanat and Tim Rudnick are the double safety for Notre Dame. And waiting for the snap. Low pass from center, but he gets it away. Going back for it is Rudnick, 25. Rudnick is at the 30, 35, 36, dropped on the 36-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Notre Dame after that 43-yard kick. And shaken up on the play there for Notre Dame is Rudnick. He's getting up slowly, and he is hurt. And that's another defensive back of Notre Dame who may be out of action. So officials have asked for the timeout here, and they are working on Tim Rudnick. He is hurt. And with the score, Notre Dame 23, Southern Cal 14. That timeout on the field. Now this for Big Red, chewing tobacco. Well, they did not take the full timeout, so Best tried a running play off right guard and was brought down on the 36-yard line. No gain. Demerly is back in, and Weber comes out, so now they're utilizing a split receiver, Demerly, wide to the right side. In motion goes Deminick, and here's the give to Best at the 45, the 50, and Best is on down to the 45-yard line of Southern California. And Parker and Mitchell made the tackle for the Trojans. It's a first down for Notre Dame, and he had great blocking up front again.
Beautiful trap play up the middle, and did he have the blocking? Boy, when he got through there, the linebackers had taken the fake. 19 big yards, and the Irish with a great play there by Best now. Spring it over the midfield stripe there on the 45-yard line of Southern California.
Demerly to the left side, Pennick in motion to the left, and the give is to Best, and he dives into the line, gets back to the line of scrimmage, that's all, and Wood is the man who made the tackle on him. And Demerly had gone deep. We've got 13:35 to play in this ball game. Notre Dame leading 23-14 over Southern California. It was an even ball game as far as the odds makers are concerned. Al Hunter is in there now for Notre Dame. Here's the young man that they say, he's a freshman, and they say he has as much speed as anybody in college football today. Hunter is in there with Best as running backs. Pennick in the slot on the right, and it's Hunter with the football, and he breaks one tackle and gets on down to the 42-yard line, getting 3 yards on the play, and Bradley makes the tackle there for Southern California.
Would you say this fellow really runs with authority? Richard Woods, Dick Woods, the linebacker for Southern California, can hit with the best of them, and he hit him pretty solidly there, and Al Hunter went right over him just the same.
Ball is marked on the 42-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 7 yards to go. Demerly's out wide to left. It's a double wing formation. Clements may put it in the air. He sends Pennick in motion, and he gives on the counter play to Hunter, and he's nailed on the 44-yard line by Wood. Well, that puts him out of field goal range on top of everything else. So now then, the punter, Doherty, will have to go to work. I would imagine if he had that call over again, he might change it.
I don't believe so, Ben, for this reason. He'd worked the inside trap there quite well with Best, and now he was coming back with the counter. The logical thing was the counter to come back after that trap play. But this fellow Wood is just a fine linebacker. He trails the plays, and he's got the speed to catch you.
Davis and Swan are deep, and here's the kick by Doherty, and he kicks a high floater. Fair catch is called for right on the 17 or 18, and he got a tough break on that kick. 27 yards, that's all. And so now Southern California will take over on their own 28-yard line. Check it, 18-yard line. First down and 10 to go, with Notre Dame leading 23-14. Davis, Moore, and Swan in the backfield with Hayden. Now let's check that defensive back ball, Pentecost. Rudnick is back in there. So Rudnick is back in. So Browner, Fanning, Stock, Haydock, Collins, Potemkin, Smith, Bradley, Townsend, Rudnick in there defensively for Notre Dame. Mahalik. And the ball is marked on the 18-yard line. There's a timeout on the field with the score Notre Dame 23, Southern California 14. High formation, Pat Hayden with the ball and a pitch back to Anthony Davis. Davis cuts in and he is knocked down on the 20-yard line by Browner. Browner really hit him there, and aiding and abetting with Fanning along with Lipinski on the 20, so it'll be a gain on the play of 2 yards by Anthony Davis. Second down and 8 yards to go, and 11 and a half minutes of playing time remaining. That's raining a little harder now at South Bend. McNeil goes in and Davis goes out. Davis in 17 carries has gained 34 yards today. Would you say they've been keying on him a little bit?
I would say they've been keying on him. I would say that they have angled for this one man. If they stop Anthony Davis, they stop the running attack in Southern California. Proven true, too, as far as that goes, when you figure that the man has gained 86 yards a game all year long in 6 attempts, and now he runs into a Notre Dame team. But the same thing, Van, remember, happened to O.J. Simpson.
Here's McKay flanked out to the left. Here's Hayden going back to throw. He unloads one, and it is caught by the tight end Obradovich at the 40-yard line, and Rudnick hit him And it's a first down, and Hayden brought him out of big trouble then, and the ball is nailed by Obradovich. That's the first time today they've thrown to him.
Well, you want to know something? They've only thrown an average of one pass a game to him all year long. He has scored one touchdown, but he is not a target that they throw to.
So mark it first down and 10 to go for Southern California with the ball on the 40-yard line of Southern California. 10 minutes, 50 seconds to go. Notre Dame leading 23-14. 13th first down for the Trojans. And now McKay's wide to the right in this I formation. Swan's in the slot. And hold it. Flag is down. A flag is down, and it may be a penalty against Notre Dame for illegal procedure. Moves the ball to the 45-yard line. Illegal procedure. One of those big linemen got a little over-aggressive.
Banning is the man. He steps across. He made the contact. He jumped back all right, but very quickly, a very sharp quarterback, Pat Hayden, pointed out to the official, hey, wait a minute, Banning touched my man with his hand.
6th penalty, 50 yards. McNeil brings in a play. Davis goes out. I formation. Wide receiver is McKay. Hayden is waiting. 1st and 5. Hayden is bootlegging the ball. He is breaking around. One tackler goes to the 45. He is down to the 40-yard line. And he's got that ball in the Notre Dame territory, making a tremendous play on the keeper. He hit the football on his hip, found the hole, moved it 15 yards down to the 40-yard line.
Man, that was a blown play. That play had to be blown. There was absolutely no way for him to operate with that football. And you can bank on it, John McKay isn't going to send a valuable piece of material like Pat Hayden bootlegging by himself like that, because both the linebacker and the defensive end had a perfect shot at him, but both of them, believe it or not, stood there and looked at him. They couldn't believe that Hayden had the ball.
High formation, McKay flanked to the right. Here's Hayden going back to throw again. And Hayden is looking around, throws, and it is caught. And caught at the 24-yard line by Obradovich. The tight end grabs it for a first down. We'll wait and see where he stepped out of bounds. It's around the 25 they're going to mark it. It'll be a first down for Southern California, and Townsend is the man who knocked him out of bounds. And that's 15 first downs for Southern California, and the Trojans are on the move. 15 yards. Going out of there is Moore. Gray is in at fullback. Ball on the 25-yard line. 9.5 minutes of playing time remaining. McKay on the right side. Obradovich on the left side. I formation. Swan in the slot. Waiting for it is Hayden. And Hayden on a pitch back to Anthony Davis. Turns the corner to 20 and is forced out of bounds on the 19-yard line by Luther Bradley. And that was a gain of 6 yards on the part of Anthony Davis. We've got 9 minutes and 17 seconds to go in the game. Notre Dame leading 23-14.
Notre Dame overshifted. The line overshifted. Those defensive backs overshifted to the strong side there. And, of course, here comes Mr. Davis with the power going to the weak side and getting himself 5 yards, and that's what they were aiming for. They'll take 5 yards a shot all the way into the end zone if they can get it, and they don't care which way they carry it.
McKay is on the right side again, and the slot is Swan in this I formation. They run a slot I, and now in motion goes McKay. And the give is to Davis. And Davis is hit at the 17 and fumbled the ball, and Notre Dame got it. Davis fumbled the ball at the 16-yard line, and Notre Dame has got the ball. When they unfile, we're going to see who got it. Let's see who got it. It looks like, well, it's going to be difficult to pick him out. They had about 20 guys gathered around him. Looks like Hayduck is the man who recovered it. Hayduck. He's the man who recovered it. There's a great break now for the Fighting Irish. That's a break that they forced on the tough tackle of Davis.
Oh, boy, and what a break it was for Notre Dame with Southern California knocking at the door. Now let's see what they do with the football down deep in their territory at their 16-yard line.
Al Hunter's in that backfield with Best and Pinnock, who goes in motion. And the give is to Best. Best brings it up to the 21-yard line, getting about 5, and Wood makes the tackle along with Stewart. And the clock now shows 9 minutes of playing time remaining in this ball game. Notre Dame leading 23-14, and Notre Dame would like to just hold on to that football now and grind it out. I don't think Clements will put it in the air too much here, Al, unless he's forced to on the third down situation.
Parise is going into the football game. Tom Parise is going in, Van, and Best is hobbled a little bit as he comes to the sideline.
So Hunter is in there with Parise now as the fullback position. And it is Parise bucking over the middle of the line to about the 23. And Wood made the tackle for Southern California. Notre Dame leading 23-14. 8 minutes and 25 seconds of playing time remaining in this game at South Bend. Very dark, very overcast, and it is raining at South Bend. Mark that ball on the 23-yard line. It'll be third down and about, let's call it 2.5 yards to go. That's third down again. Demerly's flanked out wide to the right. Waiting for it is Tommy Clements, the quarterback. He sends a man in motion, Goodman. He gives it to the fullback. Parisi's got a first down for Notre Dame. Jeter made the tackle for Southern California. And Tom Parisi made the first down for the Irish.
Well, you called it. They're going to play ball control just as long as they can run that football. And I don't blame them for a moment. You won't see that ball put in the air by the Fighting Irish. Not this afternoon, not down in that end of the football field, because it's 7:45 and the clock running here in the fourth quarter.
First down from the 23. Goodman in motion. The keeper now by Clements. He's going outside, turns the corner, goes out of bounds on the 38-yard line right in front of the Southern California bench. Gain on the play of about 5 yards, and Phillips is the man who knocked him out of bounds. Let's see where they're going to mark it. It'll be on the 38-yard line. They're going to mark it. It'll be a first down for Notre Dame, and Weber's coming back in. Clements has called an exceptional ball game today.
Called a fabulously fine ball game, and I'm sure that he got a lot of those calls right down there on the sideline. So that means that the men that are in the booth right next to us, the coaches of Notre Dame, have helped him call a great game.
Tight ends now, Weber and Casper. And here is the give to Hunter. A flag is down, and Hunter is dropped on the 45, but I believe it'll be illegal motion, Al. We'll see. One of those backs moves.
7 yards for the flag on the play.
Going to be against the Irish, so that'll bring the football back, and we'll step it off from back at the 38-yard line. I don't think I have... Van, I got to bring a point out here. We talked with Era Parsigan, and he was telling you yesterday, as a matter of fact, that he did not want to bring his football team along like he had in the past, get them up for the first 5 games so high that they began to go over the top a little bit on the 6th and 7th and 8th games. He wanted to bring them up slowly. I don't think I've seen the offense fire out any better at any time this year than this afternoon.
It was illegal motion on the part of Notre Dame. 1st and 15 from the 32. 7th penalty, 55 yards. Here's Hunter, who slips, regains his balance, and is dropped on the 36 or 7-yard line by Anthony. Let me say this. You got a ball game like this. Notre Dame is leading 23-14. You've got 7 minutes to go, and you've got a freshman in there, and they're giving him the football. That's confidence, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And I'll tell you again that Mr. Al Hunter has shown that he is worth having confidence in. He runs the football. Now, I see Pete Demerly has gone back into the ball game, Ben, so one of the key receivers is back in there for the Irish if they wanted to throw it.
Notre Dame has 259 yards rushing. Southern California has 70. Demerly wide to the right. In motion is Hunter. And here's quarterback on the keeper. And he is out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Out of bounds at the 35, so he lost about 3 on the play. Phillips ran him out of bounds along with Bruce. So put that ball on the 35-yard line. Make it third down, and 12 yards to go. Now here's the factor. 6.5 minutes of playing time remaining. That's all. Notre Dame leading 23-14.
All right, what do you call? I've got to believe needing 13 yards for the first down, and right now with the clock as it is, he needs that first down. So he's going to go to the air even though it is wet.
Well, he's got a double wing. He's been throwing from that today, and let's see what he does with it. You're right. He gives on the draw to Pinnock, and Pinnock is going to be stopped at the 38. He wouldn't risk putting it in the air. Bradley and Bruce made it, and so now it'll be up to Doherty to kick the ball away.
Well, of course, he's got to put it in the air a different way now. He's got to kick the football. You lose it either way, but the gamble on the draw would have been good because, again, he outguessed. We couldn't stay with him on the guess, and we just occasionally try to call a play here or there that we think might be coming up. There's been some great quarterbacking here by this Irish football team this afternoon. They've called some beaut.
Perfect pass from center, and a good high floating kick, and Swan takes it on the 21-yard line. Swan goes wide. He is caught from behind. Caught in there by Notre Dame's linebacker, Collins. 42 yards on the kick. With the score, Notre Dame 23, Southern California 14. There's a timeout on the field now. This for Delco.
Maybe all you know about batteries is that they're necessary to start your car. And you want one that will start and start and start your car. That's just what the Delco Energizer was designed to do. It supplies a super burst of power instantaneously to start a car in almost any weather. Get a Delco battery for your car. Look for the red, white, and blue Delco sign.
Well, the more you know, the more you want Delco. The more you know, the more you want Delco.
Then Southern California now has found out that the Irish intend to keep control of this ball, and they've done it all day long. They have had 77 plays offensively, Notre Dame has, to a total of 43 for Southern California. It'll give you an idea of real ball control as far as Notre Dame goes. All right. Southern Cal has possession now. They're at the 26-yard line. Here's the final score that we have just in. Dartmouth has beaten Harvard 24-18. Miami beat Syracuse 34-23. Boston College over Villanova 11-7. And here comes Southern Cal.
And here's McKay wide to the left side. Rudnick one-on-one, and Hayden is going back to throw. Throws a swing pass out here that's completed at the 27-yard line. The tackle is broken on McNeil. McNeil is at the 40. He's at the 45. He's at the 49. And McNeil brought it all the way to the 49-yard line. Potemka and Browner finally brought him down. And he moved with that football when he got it to the 49-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 to go for Southern California. And a gain of 22 yards on the play. 1st down and 10 to go now for the Trojans. 5 minutes, 20 seconds to go. Stock is hurt. They have taken him out. They've got a new defensive end in there. Willie Fry is in at defensive right end for Notre Dame. High formation. McKay's on the right side. Hayden now trying to get back on that board desperately. He goes back to throw again. He is hit back there. And Fry made the tackle. He was hit first by Browner. And then Willie Fry, who just went into the ball game, hammered him down to the turf back on the 37-yard line.
How about that? A couple of freshmen. Willie Fry, the freshman from Memphis, Tennessee, on his first defensive play. Great play by Fry, putting on the pressure. Ross Browner with him. A 12-yard loss to Southern California quarterback Pat Hayden. Really got his molars jarred on that one. Great play by Notre Dame's defensive unit. All right, that's not going to happen very often. Good offensive line by Southern Cal.
2nd down and 22. He lost 12. Here's Hayden going back to throw again. He unloads a bomb to McKay, and he's got it. Drops the ball. And it's covered by Notre Dame. And it's going to be ruled an incomplete. Oh, it's Notre Dame's ball. Listen to this crowd. McKay caught it, fumbled it, and Notre Dame covered it. It was Smith who really hit him and jarred him loose. Smith recovered it.
And that is the 4th Southern California fumble. Would you believe? In 6 previous games, Southern California only fumbled 8 times. Now, in this game, they have fumbled 4 times. That is the 2nd one they have lost.
Pinnock is coming out now. He went out there. Now he's out. 4:23 to go. Ball on the 39-yard line. Hunter is in there. And Samuel is in. Parisi is in. Here's the keeper by Clements. He gets 7 yards. He brings that ball to the 48-yard line. Cobb made the tackle, along with Rodriguez. Clements picking up about 8 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 2 to go. Notre Dame leading 23-14. You got to remember this. Southern California has not lost a ball game in their last 23 games. That's the longest undefeated string in college football, and they started it all here 2 years ago at South Bend. Hunter's in the slot on the left. He's in motion. And here's Clements again. He's across the 50. He might have a 1st down. They hit him pretty good out there. And let's see what they're going to mark it. Wood is the man who made the tackle, and they may bring the chain out. It'll be a 1st down on the 50-yard line. That's the 17th 1st down. Now they have in the spot on the right side. Samuel Weber is split out to the left. Samuel's in motion. Parisi with the football, and he's going to be hit at the 49-yard line and dropped there by Bruce and Anthony. The clock continues to go with 3:15 to play in this ball game.
That's the whole idea, Van. The whole idea, of course, to run the football down there. Southern California can stop the clock, but they'd have to take a timeout. They're not going to do that, and the Irish intend to run that clock out just as far as they can. They'd even give the touchdown to the Southern California team, I believe, at this moment, because they lead by 9, 23-14.
All right, in motion goes Hunter again, the keeper again with Clements. He stopped on the 47, fumbles the ball, and let's see who got it. Notre Dame recovered it. Oh, no, he didn't. Southern California's Doris got that football. It's Clements' fumble. So now the Trojans have it right back with 2:42 to go in the game.
There's a big break now. Southern California has one thing against them, and that is the clock, and the fact that they need 10 points to win the game, 9 points to tie it up. They're going to have to move and move swiftly, and that means one thing, that their quarterback is going to have to take to the air. Matt Hayden has been intercepted today. He knows what it is to be picked off. He also knows what it is to see his football team fumble away. There's a timeout now.
Hold it. They're going to go. The officials indicated the timeout, but they're going to keep it. Let's go. Ball's on the 47-yard line. First down and 10 to go for Southern California. Hayden goes back to throw from this I formation. He throws a bomb. It's intercepted here and caught by Bradley, who fell out of bounds as he caught it. Notre Dame's ball. Bradley's intercepted. Intended for McKay, and Bradley picked it off. Listen to this crowd. Now there's a timeout on the field with a score. Notre Dame 23, Southern California 14.
All the excitement of Notre Dame football 74, brought to you by Steve Barry Buick. And all the excitement of the 74 Buicks on display now at Barry Buick. Look, you know the 74 Buicks are going to be great cars, and you should know there's one place to get the best of the Buick for 74. That's at Barry Buick. Steve Barry's going all out on deals right from the start, and he's backing the play with the finest team of service technicians in the Midwest. The best of the Buick, the best deal, the best service from Barry Buick. 16,000 Detroit Avenue in Lakewood.
All right, Van, we've got 2 minutes and 36 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter. Notre Dame leads 23-14 over Southern California. The rain is coming down just a wee bit heavier. We don't have a solid, heavy rainfall, but it's enough to wet things down thoroughly. The football, the jerseys, the players, everything. Southern California seeing that great string of 23 straight ball games rapidly diminishing here where they started it 2 years ago. Irish are back in a huddle between the 15 and 20-yard line. They have possession first and 10 at the 30, their own 30-yard line, and here they come up to the line. Van?
All right, Samuel and Hunter and Parisi in the backfield. Clements, the quarterback, in the double wing with 2:36 to go. Here's the give to Samuel. He cuts in behind his blockers and brings the ball to the 34-yard line, and he's brought down by Phillips. Phillips brought him down. He got about 5 yards on the play from the 29. And time is a big factor right now. 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Our experts today, Al Bud Perillo, the Herald Examiner, and Cooper Rollo of the Chicago Tribune, Wayne Fuson of the Indianapolis News, and we'll have that most valuable player for you. Clock shows 2 minutes. Double wing. Waiting for it is Clements, and Clements gives Parisi. Parisi is to the 37-yard line, and Anthony makes the tackle. And the vote goes today. The Lazy Boy chair will be awarded to the Notre Dame Athletic Department in the name of Robert Thomas, the kicker, who had field goals of 33, 33, and 32 yards and 2 extra points for a total of 11 points, and he's kicked under pressure today.
Believe me, the young man deserves it. He did a tremendous job. He didn't miss today. His foot was as sure as a deep desire for Notre Dame for a victory.
He also did the kicking off today, Al, which was an important factor. And here is the quarterback now, Clements on the keeper. He runs with that ball. He's still on his feet. He's all the way down to the 47-yard line before he's brought down. It's a first down for Notre Dame and the Irish. Clements, the quarterback, Cobb and Mitchell bring him down, and that 21 first downs for Notre Dame. They have it on the 47. He's running that keeper, but look at that blocking up there.
Oh, what a celebration there'll be in South Bend tonight, and they've waited 7 long years, and that's an unhappy gentleman. A very fine football coach across the field looking on now, John McKay.
Ready to go now with the first down and calling the signals, Clement. He gives it to Parisi. Parisi plows down to the 43, and Anthony brings him down. We got about 50 seconds of playing time remaining. Notre Dame leading by a score of 23-14. And they're going to put that ball down on the 43-yard line, and the Irish are trying to run out as much time as they can. At 301 yards rushing for Notre Dame today, and listen to the ovation they're already getting. They're coming out of the huddle. 23-14, they lead. They've got Southern California defeated. Clements is waiting for it, and Clements gives it to Parisi. He's at the 40, the 35. He's at the 30. He's down to the 27. And Parker brings him down on the 27-yard line. It's a first down for Notre Dame.
And there's a flag, and it's against Southern California, and it's going to be penalty, a yardage stepped off against the Trojans. That ball is at the 26, the 28-yard line. Now let's hold it. It is going to be stepped off against Southern California for a personal foul.
Well, they've got 17 seconds. They might try to get on there again, Al, on that board. Listen to this crowd at South Bend. Isn't this something, an ovation they're getting today? The ball is all the way down on the 14-yard line. It's 1st and 10 to go. 1st and 10 to go. Southern California has called a timeout. Notre Dame leads 23-14, and we sincerely hope you've enjoyed the ball game today as much as we have wherever you are. It's been a tremendous game. Navy next Saturday here at Notre Dame. Monday night we'll be in Buffalo. Lou Saban's Buffalo Bills and Hank Stram, the Kansas City Chiefs, over many of these stations. It's still raining at South Bend, but they think it's the 4th of July here and New Year's Eve all in one in South Bend.
And it will be tonight.
Things will be jumping at the linebacker, you figure, tonight. Notre Dame putting in now, they're taking Clements out of there, and let's see, does he come out? No, he's still out there. I thought they might take him out. He's still there. Tommy Clements. So the clock shows exactly 17 seconds of playing time remaining. Clements comes over to talk to Ara Parsegan again. Hunter, Samuel, and Parisi are the running backs, and I've been impressed, Al, with the running of Parisi. He has run well with the ball.
Well, he's a youngster that had a great deal of promise during the spring game. Worked well. He's looked extremely good in practice, and it was a matter of being able to fight his way into a chance to play with all the fine speed and excellent backs that Notre Dame has this year. I think overall speed in the offensive backfield is better this year than any year in the 7 years we've been here, Ben.
Well, we're ready to go. This might be the last play of this ball game, right here. Clements calling the signal. And Clements gives it to Parisi. Parisi up the middle. Anthony makes the tackle. 12 seconds. They start counting them off. Southern California's not going to call any timeout. This ball game is going to end. They're all ready. The Notre Dame student body is on the field. It's all over. Notre Dame has defeated Southern California 23-14. And we'll present the wrap-up of today's game after this for Royal Globe Insurance.
We always have excitement in the Notre Dame Southern California series. Performance is what counts on the football field. And in insurance, it's what makes Royal Globe a special kind of insurance company. Performance when it counts. Take Indiana. Right here, we have nearly 150 insurance pros working for you. These company and agency representatives are ready to step in and help when the unexpected happens, day or night. Ready to get you back on your feet in a hurry, without a lot of hassle. We know what it's like when a disaster shuts down your business or locks you out of your home. It's during these hours and days you discover how good your insurance company is. At Royal Globe, we believe that the premiums you pay include service as well as coverage. For performance when it counts, see a Royal Globe agent near you. You'll find him listed under Royal Globe in the yellow pages. Royal Globe, worldwide shield against the unexpected.
The stadium is bedlam now, as not only the Notre Dame fans, but all of the Subway alumni has gone out to cheer this football team that has waited 7 years to come up with a victory over Southern California and finally has been able to turn the trick. How sweet victory is for Notre Dame, and the Notre Dame band is waiting down below to perform, and what a disappointment it must be. Some 2,000 miles away out in Southern California, many of our affiliates carrying the Notre Dame Football Network broadcast. I am sure there are a lot of fans there that feel just as troubled and upset over the loss as there is fans here at South Bend that are happy. The Irish trailing in the first quarter 7-3, although they were on the scoreboard first with a field goal from 32 yards. Took the lead at halftime 13-7 with a touchdown and the second field goal of the afternoon for a very fine Bob Thomas. At the end of the third quarter, a 20-14 lead had been stacked up, and then in the fourth quarter, 23-14, with that final field goal wrapping it all up, actually with 22 seconds left to go in the third period. So Notre Dame had
A field goal in the first quarter, a field goal in the second, a field goal in the third period, touchdowns in the second and third period, and Southern California scores came in the first and third. 23-14, the Irish. They're winning it all by 9 points, and they're tearing down the goal post.